Welcome in, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's Tuesday.
What?
It's Tuesday.
Oh my gosh!
This
It is Tuesday.
Okay.
That's the funny thing.
I will say this, Jason. I'm surprised that you or I did not come up with this one the very first time we made this joke up.
It is Tuesday.
This is the last time I can use that in real life.
I will give you that. It is Tuesday.
I was actually more offended that I didn't come up with that sooner. Out of me and
I deserve better out of you. It's
Exactly.
not that I want better out of you. It's that I deserve better out of you.
I actually 100% agree, and
I deserve the best out of Chris, and what I get is this.
Is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
But hey, that's good stuff. That's
it's
good content.
Tuesday.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Sigavax,
Hi.
Sarcastic Grandpa, Stan, welcome in. We're doing some Tau, getting ready for the big launch, because we're going to the moon.
What moon?
Like with the Tau, aren't they from? No, they're not from Mars. Where are the Tau from?
Oh, they're definitely from Mars. That's now the story.
Is that no? Who's from Mars? Hey,
they are technically from Mars. Yes.
Here's a great. Speaking of from Mars, Wad, thank you so much for that sub. 55 months. You're crazy, Wad. You know what, Wad? I have a question for you, Wad, specifically. What are you painting
Careful,
right
Wad.
now? I genuinely was like, you know what? Wad comes in here and says hello to everybody, but I genuinely wanted to know what Wad was working on project-wise. And if you say you're in between projects,
I'm kind of in between projects right now.
Jason,
What?
first of all, I need that energy up,
No,
Mr. Yonifer.
no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Jason, I don't think you're ever between projects, because when you're between projects,
I'm in between projects when I set the model down and then pick the other one up. Technically, that is between projects.
How do you classify a project? Like your army or per model?
Yes.
Because technically you are between many projects if it's per army.
See?
Technically.
That's the only kind of...
Hey, man, I'm here for you.
No, what does that have to do with anything? Nothing.
They're from Tau Ceti.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Says Sugar Rush. Jason, what are we doing today besides painting?
Nothing.
Oh, that's a perfect answer.
Painting?
We are painting.
I think we're painting. That's the whole point of today.
The ghost keel?
That's the whole point of this whole show, is to do the paint thing. So that's what we're doing. This guy's a little bright.
What do you mean bright?
Well, compared to like the other guys, he feels a little bright. So I don't know if it's just... See?
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
See?
What do you mean bright?
See?
Oh, you mean this part?
I'm trying to figure out if I'm okay with models being, varied enough across the army.
Sure.
In their brightness, because when you look at like an army, not everything's going to be exactly the same.
No.
And so I think I'm okay with it.
You mean like as in that last Zenithal highlight or whatever that?
No,
last
I think I thinned the blue-black down too much.
Oh.
And so I didn't get it dark enough in some spots.
Huh. Okay. More panel lining for the ghost kill. Yes, I think that is what we're Silvice. Okay. And then metal. What are you doing with these?
What?
What are you doing with these helmets? What was it? I'm trying to remember. White. That's what it was.
They're all white. I don't know, though. I might switch up some. I mean, I've only done 2 so far, and they've been white. So I might switch it up on some of them, but I can do red or yellow or something like that.
Wad says, mostly working on various mental health issues, but also building StarCraft Marine skeletons. I'm going to prime up my impulsor this weekend for the challenge. Hey, I like to hear that. I'm in a reprime stage. I just reprimed some of Jason's Tau that he received in the mail. I just did that.
Oh, did you? Is that what you were doing?
That was what I was just doing just now.
I got you.
But those need to... red is great for snipers, says Mo. Are they snipers? Ghost keels are invisible, aren't they?
They're stealth, yeah. They're stealth units.
Rocco, yes, happy Tau's Day. I'm so sorry to the chat that we did not come up with that sooner. That's embarrassing. It really is, actually, with all of this, like, how are we going to make
It's
Tao
not
work
as
in the
embarrassing
title?
as you're making it seem like it is.
It kind of is when you really think about how many puns we came up for Tao the last week.
I think we're just going to run with it and see. I can always go back and darken it up after we do the Payne's Gray portion of it. Or I can just have the army be varied, and that's fine. Nobody's fatigues are the same color.
Okay.
Technically, except when they're brand new. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm thinking too much about it.
Matt Aaron says, fellas, finally able to catch a stream. Yay, Tau project looks awesome. What do you use to fill seam lines when you have to sandwich two pieces together? Use super glue or plastic cement and sand down, question mark?
Yeah, I basically, we just did a quick video not too long back.
Yep, I'll pin it
that
right
shows
now.
I use super glue for everything. And so I will do the super glue the joint, and then after the joint is connected, go through and these at an angle? No, they're not really. And then I will go and use the seam scraper or the back side of my hobby knife and kind of file, if you will, scrape down the edge that I put together with the super glue. And if I can do it while the super glue is wet, is better, because then the shavings of plastic as you go across. So if you were doing a line like on the top of this gun,
yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
So these guns are in two pieces on each side.
Yeah.
On the end, and so you would scrape along, and you would do an angle along the line so that it pushes all of the shavings into the crevice. So now you've got your own filler in the fine scraping of plastic going into the thing. Then I put another thin line of super glue across the top, just wipe it with my finger, and then we'll file that down if I need to. It goes really quick. It may seem a lot more complicated, but it goes a lot quicker than having to like make putty or clay of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Or any of that. It allows me to fill seams as I go, because I'm just using the tools that I'm already using to put the model together. So that's my gig. That's how I do it.
And that link I just put up was that short he was just talking about. So if you go to our site, you can see that little hobby tip that we have. Thank you for the explanation. Super helpful, as I'm about to start building 4K worth of Tau for Adepticon. Nice. That's a lot of
cool.
Tau. Scorched Earth, what's going on?
I don't know how much I have here. I don't guess I care, but I feel like it's a lot.
See, that says, I just ordered the colors needed to replicate mediocre Hobbies approach on orc vehicles. Okay. For the Armageddon box, that's on the way. I'm allowed to drop a YouTube link here with the bot bonk. No, we don't do any YouTube links unless it's from us, but you can definitely share that in our Discord.
Yep, 100%.
Which is right here. Look at that. You can't plan that kind of live interaction anyway else. There you go. There's the link. Chris looks like a dancer I know named Day Old Donuts. Ghost Hunter. I will take that as an odd compliment. Thank you.
It's scary
where I can get it.
that you visited the place where Day Old Donuts danced.
Yeah, that's
very scary.
I think there's more of a bigger picture question here about what you do in your free time, Ghost Hunter.
Yeah, there's some questions that we have for you. So I just want to have you know that those will be submitted in triplicate later. And there will be a deposition at a forthcoming date and time. So be prepared.
I mean,
when you get that summons.
Who knows? Stan says, about to harp on about my painting again. Finished the glazing. I'm so stoked with how clean and blended it is. Oh, this is a positive.
This is what he was talking about yesterday, that he didn't want to be like, I was like, come on, man. Be proud of your accomplishments.
Oh.
This is the place to be proud of your accomplishments.
Stan.
We won't put up with you talking badly about our friend Stan.
Put paint on the model.
On the model.
There's nothing else you need to do.
Nothing else you should do.
Take care of your family, maybe, and then put paint on the model.
That's a tough one.
50-50 on that one.
50-50 on take care of the family.
Commando Ken coming in hot with, I hear you guys are real talented painters. Commander Ken, hired. There it is.
Hired.
Wow. Well, when you really start to Tau about it.
That's a stretch, dude. Come on.
Insert Tau pun here. I want to get some of those Conquest models as they look really cool, says
Lot
Jeff.
of fun.
However, I would dread assembly. How would rate assembly from easy to hard? It depends on the model.
Yeah, the newer kits are great.
Yeah.
Only the older kits. So, like the Weaver Quartz faction that we've been painting, all great because they're all new kits. They don't have any old stuff. The older factions like the Spire and the Dwegome,
it's a little tough.
100 Kingdoms and stuff, they have some older models, and those plastics are a little harder to deal with, but they're still good at the end of the day. It just is going to take you more cleanup because of the way they are on the sprue. They go together very well.
Yeah.
It's really the cleanup is the only gripe that I have with them, just because the plastics are older, and where the sprue point hits the model, sometimes when you cut it off, it like gouges the plastic a little bit.
I've noticed like some of the little sprue points are on like the edge of a sword, and
right.
like when you go to cut it, then you're like, ugh.
It's kind of hard. You can't really get it to not mar the sword, right? Because it goes on an edge and kind of almost penetrates into the edge.
Yeah, but they are, to answer your question, they're pretty dang good. Hey, Travel Cedric, 185 months. That's wild. Stan with the 7, sarcastic grandpa with 355. Jeff Breaker reached 500. Stream streak. You're all crazy. Stan says, Chris, I have a very serious question for Jason. Okay. What does he do about that paint that gets all over his thumb? He washes it?
This one?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what do I do about it?
Yeah, what does he do about it? I think he just lets it be.
Wear it with pride.
I was just about to say it's kind of a badge of honor of conversation.
It's funny because everybody that knows me outside of our industry, if I show up to a place without paint on my finger, they say, "Do you even work?"
Well, also, it's just literally one of the best conversation starters.
It's the best conversation starter when you paint red and flesh tones.
Oh, you red, dude?
Yeah, and then you go out to dinner, and the people who wait on you are like, "What happened?" And if Jen's there, I say, "She beats me."
Please send help.
I've been blinking twice, but nobody listens.
D Fresh says, when eating barbecue wings, use a towelette.
Oh, you have to use a towelette.
A towelette. Please keep them coming. Jason's thumb palette is proof that the washes his hands. Chris does not wash his hands. Ghost Hunter, I'm very clean. I wash my hands. That's been proven. F-Man says, Jason, tattoo story, please. The hands. Jason.
What?
What do your hand tattoos mean?
The skull and the snake?
Yeah. What about that one? F-Man's asking about all of them. Story time.
So the skull and the snake are symbols in many cultures and in my own brain of wisdom and tenacity. They both represent both, right? So the skull is like a Tibetan ancestral skull.
Yep.
And it is the wisdom of your forebears, but also the tenacity of your tribe to continue on. Okay. The snake has always been one of wisdom and tenacity. And so they both are kind of a counterbalance, in my opinion. That's why I drew them up and got them on my hands. It was all about wisdom and tenacity, right? You have to be more than knowledgeable. You have to have wisdom. You have to put your knowledge into action in order to survive.
Yeah.
And so, you have to look forward and backward to gain real wisdom. So that's the snake and the skull. The slow burn is based off of something that my great grandmother told me when I was in my teens, early 20s. My great grandmother was born in 1900, lived to be 104 years old. And I was struggling with something, and she was like, hey, listen, just always remember, live your life and burn bright, but burn slow. It was her mentality that you needed to make sure that you burn brightly and enjoy the time you have, but not so bright that you burn yourself out. And she saw in me an energy that was capable of kind of burning myself out, because of the way I would attack, both the great and bad things in my life. And so it was just great bit of wisdom there from somebody that was much wiser than I will ever be, right? She saw more things than any of us can ever imagine, right? The invention of everything from flight to depression and all sorts of crazy stuff. So love her to death. She had really good tidbits like that, and so I live my life with a kind of a slow burn. That's come to mean different things, like when you talk about movies and stuff, but I think all those fit too.
There you go. Good story time. Matt Aaron says, would really appreciate some advice from the pros. Aiming for cool white armor scheme for my Tau.
Sure.
With orange accent colors as a part of the armor, blue energy glow. What color recipes would work best if I put the white armor using a colored pre-shade and some filter?
So send him the video.
Yeah, it's this one.
Because I think this for cool white just works so well.
It's so good.
It's the same model.
It is the same model. Right there is literally painting white without painting white, but using a little bit of white.
And, kind of an orangish yellow that I do as my accent. So I really like the way this turned out. Had I wanted a white Tau army, I definitely would have followed up and done all the ones that I'm doing here, but I wanted to do something different.
I love this armor scheme. Is dope. I really like that armor scheme. Yeah,
it turned out super simple. It's again kind of like what we're doing here. It's like 90% airbrush, but you can do it all with a brush, same color combo and all of that stuff. It was done to be rapid, so that you can get it out on the table quick, but also give you a really nice white.
We just wanted to
at the end of the day
teach people how to do the base for just painting white, right?
Yeah.
Volcanic Forge. Hi, I'm new here, first time chat. Welcome in, but I have to say I've learned a lot from you,
awesome.
And I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking
up.
We're
grateful for you hanging out with us.
Yeah, we
welcome
love to hear it. Yes, thank you so much. Mally says we love your show. Slow burn, Jason. I love Allie. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Shout out.
Never heard of him.
It's late for you guys over there.
Holy cow! Yes,
Allie, good to hear from you.
That's our French team.
Great segue. Check it out. If you're over in the EU, hit that link that I just put. You can order directly from us, from our people, right there. Allie.
From that duo in chat, actually.
That's right. Check them out. Burning the Midnight Oil. Good to hear.
That just means the kids are off from school.
Woohoo!
Maybe. and they're just trying to find alone time right now. Some cool down time.
Nice.
Maybe the kids went to bed.
Wise Wolf says, your one step makes me really want to focus in and nail down my underpainting before one step. Okay. It's helped my painting a lot to actually slow down and focus.
Yeah.
Wise Wolf, that's great. That's
awesome.
Great. Love to hear that.
One step can be so much more than just a quick way to apply color. It can really be a useful tool in so much of what you do in filtering and glazing and such. And the more you gather some patience to really focus on that value and color undertones for it, the more it'll do for you. This blue-black one step on this model through the airbrush as just a quick filter gives us a color that would be difficult to reach without having to mix, a ton of other things together.
Yeah. And
that we just kind of stumbled on. So, taking advantage of wins like that is a really neat thing with the product.
Glad you're enjoying it, though. I mean, that's great. Repray says, any news on Monument North, Canada? Repray, how you doing?
The current state of affairs is that we are still waiting on labels. Maybe Chris knows something on that?
I think we're waiting for hard proofs, ? I think they reached out to the labels guys and they're making them. I'd have to ask Gabe.
Yeah, we are kind of falling down on that, but we'll get you info soon. It's literally all just down to labels. The attorneys have got all of the lease information supposedly back to me tomorrow, and that's just as easy as sign it. We're already in the building. We just got to get the lease finalized. But once all that's done, then yeah, we're off and running. So it's always 2 weeks, 30 days. But soon we will finish out the year with a Canadian website and Canadian customer service. So
Jimbo, have you already had have we already had a list of colors of set 2 one step besides the rust? Still really hopeful for Jade as a set for 3 or 4.
We've got the Dark Sea Ben, right, as a color, which is very much the color that's on these models.
Yeah.
The Dark Sea Ben, dark brown.
Yep.
You've got bronze yellow, which is a brownish yellow. You've got ochre, olive yellow, which is a greenish yellow. Those two are great. You've got the bright yellow green. You've got it's cobalt blue, but we're just calling it deep blue.
Yep.
Because it doesn't hold, or not cobalt. It's
Prussian blue.
Prussian blue, but it doesn't hold as dark as Prussian blue as one-step color. So I'm just calling it deep blue, but it's the exact same pigment and formulation as our Prussian blue in the expert line.
Yeah.
A true black, just black. Dark purple, of course. Dark jade, which I think might, or dark turquoise. Dark turquoise. And then
olive yellow.
No, that's olive yellow.
Oh, no,
this is the bright slate gray.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the
and
bottom
red.
picture. There it is.
And then, and then scarlet red.
There you go.
And then rust, of course. So you'll love the bright turquoise if you're in that family of jade colors. That's good. I'm super stoked for everybody to get the bright slate gray for the undertone on whites. Makes whites just ultimately a million times easier.
G Money says, "How did you settle on the name One Step?"
It's a great question. You know, we sat around and thought about it for a long time. I'm not a fan of everything being made to seem like it's there only to make you paint faster, which a lot of the things after contrast focused on. You know, my belief is not that, you know, painting should be a speed thing. It should be an enjoyment thing. And so I wanted it to really be focused on the fact that it makes everything, so many of the more advanced filtering techniques and stuff, easier because it does them in one pass. It can make them, you know, as close to just one coat and done as possible. And so One Step made sense. We played around with some other things, and it really came out that, you know, is it One Step or Step 1? And we were like, yes. So it's hard to get it wrong. You know, whenever you're coming out with a name like that, you want to make sure that it's not something that's easy to make a mistake with. Naming products when you're branding them like that is not a super simple task.
No,
so One Step just stuck. We had a stand up. Chris and Jordan and I had a kind of a quick stand up meeting one night a long time ago, and that's what came out of it.
Yeah,
I was super stoked with it.
Yeah, it kind of encapsulates a lot of different meetings, right? It's a step of your process. It can be just another step. You know, there's that kind of little meaning as well, right? It's a multi-tool, so no matter what level you're at, so you don't want to put it into a box. Mally says, enjoying the transitions you're working on. Any color plans? Question mark.
What do you mean?
Like more? No, this is his actual workup. Yeah. Very greenish monochromatic. Oh, you have got some orange on there too, technically with the base.
This is my Tau.
This is my Tau. Tau, do you
high
like
contrast by using the monochromatic kind of chromatic black of the armor leaning into that really deep faded green, and then just burst of color with the desert stone on it to get the army to be really punchy on the table, but make this part of it very quick. It's just the Payne's Gray Wish.com non-metallic metal for all the metal bits, and then some color of head, and there'll be some markings, some unit markings on them once I get all that figured out. And a color for like the light lenses on the eyes and the weapons, but I haven't really come to grips on what that's going to be. Probably like a sky bluish kind of color. I would hope. But again, I don't ever plan. So we'll see what happens. I knew I wanted this color for the armor, and then to just kind of wing it with everything else and what went together well. With Tau, you don't need a lot of color. You can do a lot, but they don't need it. You know, I treat them more like tanks, and I'm thinking about this more in terms of like how I would do historic scale modeling, that I don't need a lot of color. I just need a lot more of the use of detailing, weathering, stuff like that. I'm not going to overly weather them, though. I want them to look clean after doing that first guy.
D. Bowler, I'm not answering that question. So all of these vehicles, take that to the Discord. But hey, if you're not familiar, we do a Discord challenge every month. Hit up our Discord. Go check that link out. You can participate.
It is a tough question.
It is a...
Because we've been asked a lot, like on the vehicle challenge.
I don't think it is.
Like, are battle suits vehicles? I don't think so.
That's the problem. You could start thinking about it, and the moral of
somebody
the story,
said, but a taco is a vehicle for deliciousness to your face.
With it is a vehicle for taco meat to get into your mouth. And
and they're not wrong.
That's not wrong, but you know what a vehicle is.
It's not in the spirit.
I guarantee you.
The challenge is.
Yeah. Pick a vehicle. You'll figure it out. I don't know what to tell you, chat. Just paint a model that's a vehicle, all right? Sedge says, I'm planning on doing monochromatic thing lit by a sodium street light, but can't quite get the color right. Any recommendations?
Can't get the color right for what, the OSL?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Lit by a sodium street light. Yeah, I bet you that's what you're talking about.
So the sodium street light is kind of a I would have to look at it. It's more of a warm color, isn't it?
It is this. Oh, the light itself. Yeah, it is very. Let's see. So I think it's almost like it's very yellow warm. Sodium.
It's either that or
yeah, it's very yellow.
Yeah, like the movie.
There it is. Very, very yellow. Almost gold-like. Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of your answer, right? Is like, you know, you need to find a way to get a warm kind of orangish yellow that works on your color scheme. When doing that, yellow being such a translucent color,
yeah,
in most paints, including ours, unless you're using bismuth, and bismuth is a little cool for what you're trying to do, the yellow is going to do what happened here. You're going to get, like, if you put it over blue, you're going to get greens. And so it might be better to start with kind of the more golden, either brownish, orangish hue of the light, and do that as your OSL first, and then over the top of that with like a transparent white for the brighter areas, and then yellow over that. Remember that one of the easy way, when I say easy, but one of the ways to think about doing OSL is to start with the darker shade first, work towards the brighter shade, but in order to do that, you have to be able to do white as an in-between step. So you would put, like if you're doing a flame OSL, start with the reddish oranges, and then go back with a light filter of white that go closer to the object, the actual source of the light, and then put your orangish yellows, right, that brighter OSL. So your dark color, white, and then bright color filtered over the bright color of white, and then it also bleeds out into your reds. And because you're dealing with, you know, translucent colors, then it gives you a really good layered blend for that, rather than the other way, which is to do your bright color of light on the model and then figure out how to filter your darker colors around that. So that's one way to do it, and that's probably going to save you through the yellow, because the yellow over the orangish or whatever you choose, you could do like a golden brown, dark golden brown, something like that as your basis for it, and do the yellow over that, and then that would give you, you know, if you did the dark golden brown, you'd get kind of that Hollywood sepia of the street light kind of color. But you do the dark golden brown first, and maybe mix it with a little yellow, and then do white, and then do yellow over that, and then now the yellow doesn't give you a blended color over the top of all those things if you're looking to do a real dramatic light. The other way to think about OSL is that colored light does blend with the visual color of what it's on. So you're not just going to get, if there was a blue light in the room, it's not just going to turn my khaki shirt blue.
Right.
It's going to be some weird kind of jaundice color of khaki with blue light over it, right? And give it that greenish kind of feel because of the yellow in my shirt. That's just the way that's going to happen. If you feel comfortable doing that, then you can. It's going to give it a much better sense of realism, but that doesn't always translate to being the right dramatic impact to have OSL on a model. A lot of times we will make OSL not how the real world would be in order to translate the fact that it is OSL, because you're looking at this model in room light. So you have to be able to make the OSL punchier, because in room light, it's not telling the story.
Yeah.
You're not going to say, okay, this model is never going to be looked at in a cave, which is the setting I'm putting it in. So I had to make the glow on her face and the color of the flame more comic booky to give the idea across of what's going on. And I did it more in a spotlight fashion there, and then the uplighting on the back in more of a dramatic fashion here than it would ever be in real life if you were to see this, because I'm always going to be showing the model in a lit room. And the light in the room counterbalances all the light you're trying to place on the model when you're doing something like this. Like if I'm assuming you're doing a sodium street light, you're doing a model in a dark environment. Well, it's never going to be looked at in a dark environment, so you have to overdo your lighting. Yeah. Is that making sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's hard to get this idea across, but I'm hoping this really shows it, because here we are in a studio with good lighting on the desk, but I'm trying to show you a model that's supposed to look like it's in a cave.
Right.
So we had the question yesterday, and I've muddied all the colors and gone to a very monochromatic field here, so you can't really tell necessarily the exact color of the armor on the leg versus the boot versus the pants versus the tunic, because they need to kind of blend together to give the idea that there isn't another light source other than the glow of the torch. And then on this side, same thing, right? The glow of the magic pool underneath, and then all the other colors are very desaturated into the dark shades, so that you don't get a whole lot of color going on, because a whole lot of color in all of this would mean there's another light source, and then that messes up the kind of sensibility of the composition. So.
Hey, Raiders, welcome in. Hi, GTV. Welcome in, Raiders.
Hello!
Rocco's asking, Jason, are you leaving the Tau symbols the same color as the armor?
They've been painting them. I've been painting them in the color of the steel so far, popping close.
Yeah.
So I've been leaving them the color of the Payne's Gray. So you can see like I'm doing the chicken leg mechanicals and stuff like that in Payne's Gray. Kind of, I call it wish.com non-metallic metal as a black metal almost. Yeah. Blue-black gunmetal, call it. And so I've been doing them like that at first to keep the scheme as simple as possible. I have not done his shield yet. It's going to have some energy around the circle and then some sort of coloring on the lettering. I'm waiting until I get more of the army done to pick how I want to do that. We went ahead and did the demon sword on him in the purple and the red and the copper, because I thought that tracked really well as being a neat way, and he's the only guy that has anything like that, so I could kind of play with color combos. But I haven't really made a decision if I'm going to go back and maybe redo these in some other color. Like I didn't do the shoulder on this one just because I'm kind of in that in-between stage. I don't plan a lot with models. I let them kind of develop as I start building them, because every color in my head has a certain feeling, and then when you actually put it on the model, it can really upset what you were going for.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, that symbol's actually pretty cool that way. It's like it's not taking away from the other colors.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I'm thinking of this army not in terms of the way we normally do our battle dollies. I'm thinking of it more in terms of like how you would do historic war figures. And so you wouldn't have, U.S. tanks with like clown colors on them. You wouldn't have yellow Marines like you do with Space Marines.
Yeah.
They would all be some olive drab style coloring. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. Not the olive drab part, although we are in a chromatic, green, black in the overall color of the army. But just more show that it's a more desaturated, monochromatic palette. And then just trying to pick out details like lights for the eyes and the guns and things like that. And then unit markings I will probably do, because the Tau have some neat... I just don't know the Tau runic lettering well enough to just put them on there right now. But that's my plan, is to try to do some of that too. is to come up later on and maybe have them unit by unit, like I've got, the Fire Warriors and Pathfinder teams and stuff. Maybe do them to where I put little different colored markings on the helmet or on the shoulder plates or something like that. But I'll wait until I get more of the army done and then take a look at it. Because I have like 2 units of these guys, so I could pick like 2 different colors on the units to do that. Stuff like that. And there's there's not really big areas on the tower. The tower funky because there are lots of little panels, not any big broad panels. Right. Even the Town R doesn't have a lot of big panels. It's still broken up in a lot of small patchwork panels, even on the Titan that they have.
The big
one. So the Riptide, the Storm Surge, all the models we have are a lot of smaller panels. So there is some freehand area where I can do some unit markings and stuff, so I plan to have a little bit of fun with that, but we'll see. If you stick around here long enough, you'll realize that my not knowing is most of the fun.
Yeah, it's exciting.
People are like, so paint it pink plaid. And I'll say no, and then we'll pick a real color, and it'll work.
I think we know the plan is to... Here's what I would say. The plan is to probably not do pink plaid. No, sorry. Hot pink plaid. Huge difference. Commander Owl says, I've got an old Tau Codex with a table of the letters. Not sure if it's up to date. Yeah, interesting.
I'm sure it's all the same.
All pink plaid is a real color, says Ghost Hunter. I don't think so. Pink plaid is a mixture of colors. Right? Yes. The mixture. It's not happening, Ghost Hunter. Sorry. There's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing I can do. It's a tough world out there, chat. Bald Man says, I want bald man brown signature color, Chris.
Bald man brown?
What you want is a I don't know. What you really want.
Dude, if I released a color called Bald Man Brown, you know how much customer service crap we would get?
What you really want is a full thing of shampoo for that beautiful head of hair.
Everybody wants a full thing of shampoo.
Especially Bald Man.
He's not bald.
Exactly. That's why I think he needs some shampoo.
He's appropriating baldness.
Chris, have you tried to try harder? Seth Squatch Paints, yes. Thank you. Every day. All I want to do is get better for you, chat. Just for you. I wake up in the morning from deep slumber. What can I do for chat today? I'm a protected class, Jason says Bald Man. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're a young man.
That won't fly here. I'm a protected class.
No, he's not either.
I am, and this is senior abuse most days around here with Chris.
Goodness.
My C+ producer.
Well, somebody's got to do it. That's what I've decided. Somebody's got to do it.
Well, you say somebody's got to steer the Dutchman, too.
Yes.
Or something like that.
No, I'm the Dutchman. You're the captain. You're Davy Jones in this scenario.
But you always say somebody has to captain the Dutchman.
That's right. I'm the Dutchman. Somebody has to captain it to make it float upon the waters of the world. But you never even
listen to me.
I do.
You can't sit here and say that I'm captaining the Dutchman and you're the Dutchman when you don't ever listen to me.
Well, how the Dutchman works is that it definitely has to have a captain. So you are there, but the Dutchman has a soul of its own as well.
See?
But there needs to be a captain. Hey, just grumpy enough. 25 months. Thank you so much. Chris, you're outstanding. Hey.
Whoa.
I appreciate that. Whoa, yes, White Mod Studios.
Whoa. I don't know who that was.
That's a good thing you just said. Tech Badger says, actually an important question for Jason. 2 or so years ago, I bought tea from a company only sold Leap Day. Only sold on Leap Day. Have you considered a Wizard's Butt type set that's also for Leap Day themed around Christmas sushi? Tech Badger.
I'm sorry. What?
That would be freaking awesome. When's the next Leap Day? Somebody look that up and tell me. When's the next leap year?
Oh, this I didn't understand what the heck you were saying.
That's what I read it. Literally.
I've never heard this term Leap Day. There's leap year.
No, the leap day is the 29th. It's leap day. That's the day of. Obviously, there's the leap year, but the day is leap day. That's an interesting. That's interesting. How does that business stay in business?
They only sell on leap day.
I mean, you got to really make
that would be
bank.
a job I would like to have.
That would be awesome.
What is it? 3 years of prep?
3 or 4, I think. Right? Is it 4 years every leap day? Is this next year?
I don't know. Leap year just shows math doesn't work. That's all I know.
Math all you want. Then here's a leap year.
It's like you idiots built a calendar that has to do this.
Well, technically, this year's got the 29th. And then you meet those people who were born on that day, and they're like, I'm only 11 years old. And I'm like, you know what?
You're
a child.
You know what? You can't really argue with them.
That's true. But that's people who are born on a leap day. They really are like, that's the hill they die on.
That's really like the short stick of the draw, though.
It is.
Right? Like, so I sympathize with that 100%.
Yeah, technically.
Like, if you're born on a leap year on that day that only occurs once every however many years, is it 3 or 4 years? I can't remember. 4 years?
I think it's 4 years, yeah. Let's see. When's the next leap year? 2028. I feel like we never get leap years. What the heck? 2028.
Well, it's just that you don't care about it anymore.
No, we care, Jason.
Because it's not your birthday.
These people care. I only care. Gilborn says February 29th, my next wedding anniversary.
Oh, see, now
that's cool.
On the other hand, is super smart.
Yeah. Gilborn, that's like high level kind of stuff.
28 means that when was the last one? That would
2004.
be 24?
Yeah. 2024.
Yeah,
Gilborn,
why isn't Jen and mine's anniversary February 29th?
Because you didn't make it.
Can I vote that?
No, you can't vote.
And what if I were to say that's the day I actually knew she was right for me?
Yeah.
Think she'll buy it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well. Can't kill a man for trying.
I don't think so. Beard science, once every 4 years, so yes, that's what I was saying. Man, Chris, really, I literally just read that, beard science. I absolutely love dark blue black, says Zilfer. It's the perfect amount of color without starting to look blue. Yes.
Yep.
That's the deal.
It was too black on the first couple of iterations, so it took a lot for us to get it to where it had that hint of blue without going overboard.
Gilborn says, yes, my wife and I got married on February 29th of 2012. This way, every 4 years we do a big thing, but every other year we do a simple, maybe a little over the top date. Gilborn,
I really like that.
That's good math.
That's super awesome.
That's also awesome.
And you guys definitely winners. You got the right pair. Sounds like.
No, it's okay. Beard science. I am right there with you. Don't you worry.
All I can hear when you say his name
Beard science
is Danny Elfman. Beard science. Wingo boingo or whatever.
Bing bang boom. Yes, that's true, little Billy. I am a protected class if we're going to keep to this math and this whole protected class shenanigans.
You are not a protected class. Your Spotify doesn't count.
According to Spotify, I am.
No, that's not how that works. You can't go get $1 off your Denny's because Spotify says you're 93.
What if we tried that though? Has anybody tried that? I want to make sure that's not real. F-Man says, more story time. Jason, career path. You told us about the art teacher who didn't get along with, but Let's hear about the story of your career path. I could tell you it. One man. Jason has been in this studio for the last 55 years. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pretty much. Feels like 55 years.
What's the elevator pitch, Jason? Where you come from?
What are we wanting?
F-Man just wanted to know more about your career.
Oh, things I've done?
Yeah.
How long back do you want to go?
The beginning of time.
I never really had real jobs. It's funny to say, but...
you worked for GW for a little bit.
My first job was working at Michael's, the art supply store.
Nice.
Back then, they had a hobby department. And so I applied and got the job working in the hobby department, even though I didn't know anything about RC cars, and that was their big hobby thing.
Yeah.
Was RC cars. And then they had a model department and stuff like that. So that's what I really hope. But it turns out not many people bought models there.
I see.
And I lost that job after working there a year because they asked me to work on, I think it was the day after Christmas.
Uh-oh.
But my dad was a weekend warrior dad. He left when I was 3, and he was coming to get me for Christmas to go to visit his family.
Yeah.
And it was non-negotiable. So I didn't go to work.
Oh.
I just didn't go. And so I lost that job.
I see.
And then my next job was drawing, utilizing my art talents and drawing a catalog for women's clothing that was by a company called Lapin. I think it's Lapin. It's like French for rabbit, I think. And the woman, Sandy, who owned the business, had a catalog that she was mimicking off of the Banana Republic old style. Because the Banana Republic back in this was the 80s.
Yeah.
And in the 80s, Banana Republic came in a quarter page. I think it was a quarter. I don't even think it was a half page. I think it was a quarter page catalog.
Yeah.
That was like spine bound and was all dungarees. It was all Outback dungarees.
Interesting.
So it was all like Australian button on the side of the hat and fishing vests and stuff like that. That's what Banana Republic was initially.
Before it was what it is today.
Yeah, before it became like fashion.
Yeah.
Right. And or high fashion. I don't know if it's high fashion, but more fashionable. And so I drew for her, and I drew other art designs for clothing she was doing and things like that. So that was really interesting because as a young kid, I was going to like these little fashion shows. They weren't big, but little fashion shows and hanging out in that and using my art in that world. I never wanted to be a clothing designer or anything, but it was fun using my 2D art and drawing that stuff. Mm-hmm. I did some page work for various comic book companies back in the day before there was any kind of artist ownership. So before there was Image Comics and all of that, you could get contract gigs working for, even Marvel and DC. I did some stuff with Mirage Press that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff, just selling single page, usually like full page like character splashes and things like that were used at conventions and stuff, never really in the books. I did a couple of pencil work jobs, believe it or not, that I did with Marvel. I got a run with them where I was able to do stuff, and I hated it. I did one job, and it was drawing. One of them was a dog peeing on a fire hydrant on a New York City street with a newsstand that the known artist got to draw the fun stuff, and I was told I was going to have to draw backgrounds, and I was a kid and brash, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't do that. And then I moved into electronics, music. I was in bands and all during this time, and got some touring, did some small record deals, and really got tired of being in bands and went into music production and then into recording studio design. And that's what I went to school for eventually in Austin, was for acoustic engineering. Wave mechanics is kind of like a physics degree. Yeah. It was a sciences degree. And it was all wave mechanics. And so that's what I did, and learned acoustics, and then came out and started my first company when I was 23, would have been 23, 1993, so 23, and ran and built recording studio, music environments and things like that, automation and electronics. And I sold that business in 1998, late 97, 98, and kind of said I was going to semi-retire. I went and coached midget league hockey for the Dallas Stars organization. I was in Texas. So I went and coached hockey, as I love ice hockey and played ice hockey. And so I went and coached hockey with some buddies of mine that were in the Dallas Stars organization, and kind of lived freewheeling for a year, and then got hired onto a company called Lutron Electronics in Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. They're known for lighting control systems. They sell light switches that you can find in Home Depot, but they make lighting control systems. And I had used their custom lighting control systems and recording studios and music environments so that you didn't get noise on the tape when you recorded. Because back in the day, it was before digital, it was 2-inch. It was 2-inch, and most of them were Otari, but a 2-inch Otari 24-track machine that you would record on. But because it just plugged into the same wall, if you had an old rheostat dimmer, one of those rotating knobs,
it would hum.
Well, because it cuts the waveform. Yeah. So the way those resistive dimmers worked is they just literally made square waves out of the sine wave of electricity. I don't know how many of you know electricity, but it would basically scrunch the amplitude, and it would square it off, and you would get noise. That's where like hum comes from, and grounding noise and things like that. And so it would put noise on the tape. And so that's sometimes why old records sounded the way they did, is because they had the hum in the background of the recording.
Yeah.
So we were one of the first that took all of those dimmer packs basically and put them on a separate power line and kept them all out of the environment of the recording area, and they would just run the low voltage to the lights. And so when I sold my business, they were like, where did all our sales go from that? And it was because I wasn't doing it anymore. And so they hired me on to work in a division in Lutron. And I actually got to work in engineering there. I wound up being a director of engineering, and I got my name on some patents working for them. I'm not an electrical engineer by trade, but it was a lot of fun doing product. That's where I really got my product development chops under me. And then after that, I went to work for GW because I was with Lutron from 99 to 2000 and early 2004, and with GW from late 2004 to 2008. And then in 2008, I went back to work for a company called Speakercraft in Riverside, California. I had moved to California, New York and California from all of this. And then in California, I went to work for GW and ran the West Coast division, did all the business end of the West Coast for GW corporate. And then in 2009 or 8, when I think it was 8, when the economy was really tanking in the U.S. and GW had shown like 4 consecutive quarters of downturn, negative profit, they were in the red. They got rid of all the remote offices and brought everything back to Glen Burnie. I think it was still Glen Burnie at the time. Yeah, it was. And they couldn't afford to move me back. I said I would. They wanted me to still work for them, but they couldn't. They couldn't afford to pay for the closing costs on my house in California. I had just bought a house the year before. When I was working for them, and then when all this happened, they couldn't afford the closing costs on the house with me, and so I had to leave GW. And then I went to work for Speakercraft, and then I started my motorcycle building company while I was there. And I did motorcycles from 2010 to 2014 when I moved here. I built custom pre-1970 motorcycles, so welding and custom frame building and full custom builds. And if you Google me and motorcycles, you'll probably see some of my bikes from magazines. So I had fun doing that. It was neat. It was another way to do art, And then I got tired of that. And in 2014, April Fool's Day, actually, had moved down here. I was fully moved to Arizona on April 1st, 2014. And I came down here because I had a lot of buddies in the custom car and bike world here in Arizona. It's perfect weather for it. And sold all my machinery, sold all my metalworking machinery and everything down here. And then met JUN. And the rest is history. Then it was Monument Hobbies. Well, it was Slow Fuse Gaming, right? And yeah, and that's that. That's my history. I think that covers all the major bases of what I've done.
Stan says, "Do you still ride motorcycles?"
I do not, unfortunately. I, as an outfall of a firearm accident that I had done some minor gunsmithing with my metal shop.
Yeah,
and I had an accident occur. I had a rifle range at my ranch in Colorado, and my motorcycle shop was on 40 acres in Colorado.
Yep.
And we were on the rifle range. It was on the layward side. I think it's the right term, layward side of the building. My building was at the foot of the Rockies, and the wind would come over the mountains and hit my building. And because the building acted as a brake for the wind on the back side of the building where the rifle range was, it created kind of a vacuum.
Yeah.
If the wind was really heavy, it would make your ears pop. Anyway, I had a firearms accident where a guy let off a firearm when I didn't have my ear pro, and I was right next to him. So it burst my left eardrum, and ever since then, I have weird situations where if I'm slightly dehydrated, I get mass vertigo, like it'll put me on the floor kind of vertigo. And I haven't had it in years, but it stopped me obviously from riding motorcycles, because if it were to happen
mid-ride, it
would happen on motorcycle ride, because I'm an idiot. I would ride 800 miles and only stop for gas and a soda, and that would be the time you'd be dehydrated. And I can just imagine I'd be all over the highway someplace. So no, I don't ride anymore. I still have a couple of frames and stuff that one day, maybe when I have some time, I would go back and build those bikes out again, because it is a lot of fun for me. But I haven't messed with it well.
Big Bob Zilla says, "Can't skip over the Ross Bob days, Jason."
Well, I didn't. I said we did Slow Fuse Gaming, and it was
the rest is history.
Is Rob Boss.
Rob Boss.
And we also made fun of Kenny. We would dress up like Kenny and do streams where we were what do we call
You should do that again someday.
It was Skinny Boutte.
Skinny
Boucher. And we did Skinny Boutte. And he used to have his sideburns cut, really sharp, and his beard. And I would take black construction paper and make the sideburns and tape them on. And we were Skinny Boutte. So yeah, we had a bunch of fun in those times. In the olden times.
That's great.
Yeah, now we've been doing this this is year
65 years.
This is year 10 for Jen and I's journey in the hobby world, and year 8 for Pro Acryl. We came out with Pro Acryl in 2018. On Black Friday, we launched the first base set. It was different than today. It was 29 colors instead of 24 because it had 5 metallics in it. Yeah, and so that's how that goes. We've been stuck with you crazy cats ever since.
That's right.
And it's a lot of firsts for me. This is the longest I have ever lived in one single place since my hometown of Dallas, Texas. Jen and Mines is my longest relationship of all time. This is the longest I've ever stayed with a single company, which I guess is good since I own it. Yeah, there's a lot of firsts in Arizona, so it's a big deal for me. It's been a lot of fun.
And that's why it's coming to a close right now.
Was that why this question was asked? This is the FBI time?
Because you're done.
President, we got it.
Jason says, Little Billy, what year did you sneak into Area 51 to save all the interdimensional aliens being held against their will?
It was when did they let me out is the correct question,
right.
Little Billy.
Beep boop.
But you didn't do your homework, so I will forgive you on that one. No, this has been a great thing. I've always been a rambling man. Wherever there was adventure, I would go. Yeah, I wasn't afraid to be like, if a buddy was like, a relationship I had was like, hey, have you ever thought about going to, Hawaii and selling palm frond ashtrays? And be like, sounds cool. Let's do it. And so for the first time now, there's been none of that. I love this.
That's right.
Like that meme. This is my favorite thing ever.
This is my favorite day.
So here we are, chat. You're stuck with me. Jen's stuck with me. You're all stuck with me. I hope you like it. Otherwise, tough.
What do you mean? I'm staying right here, Ghost Hunter. I was getting some water.
Otherwise, tough. I've seen a bajillion people come and go. We ain't going nowhere.
Big Bob says, so what Jason is saying is he's abandoning ship to go sell ashtrays. Yes. Pretty much.
That's exactly what I just said. If you listened closely, that was exactly what the code meant.
That's his call for help.
That's where you'll find me, is on the beach in Hawaii making palm frond ashtrays.
Bridget says, I found my love for hobbying in miniatures when I was 8 years old due to a disgusting person at a hobby store at VA. My parents got away from the hobby space. 31 years later, I returned to the hobby in May of 2025 on a date night with my now wife.
Awesome.
Nice. Used a competitor paint for about 2 months and started making the switch to Pro Acryl, and now exclusively Monument for Pro Acryl for all that I can get, and has been the best decision of my hobby life. Hey, thank you so much, Frigid. We're doing well. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I got in very, very young. We've said that story a bunch of times on here. One of the kids, I say kids, he was a high school kid. But, a guy in my neighborhood wanted to do Dungeons and Dragons, but he didn't have anybody at the time that would do it. So he recruited all of the rest of us kids in the neighborhood. It was like 3 of us. And, nicely, but forcibly made us play Dungeons and Dragons with him. And it was a lot of fun. But that's what got me into miniatures, because through that, we also found like Starfleet Battles and ultimately Battletech from FASA. And those were the first real miniature games that I played. Although I guess Starfleet Battles was less of a miniature game because the few starship classes that they made in metal form and boxes at the time were really expensive. And so I think we only had like maybe a Constitution class and I think it's called a D7 cruiser for the Klingons. We might have had a Romulan warbird at the time, but we didn't have much in the way of miniatures for Starfleet battles.
Yeah.
But that was, one of my favorite games of all time. We still have that. I still have all the books and we have all the ships here. It's just that nobody else but me got really excited about it. So I never really made it too far down that.
The not StarCraft.
Star Trek.
Star Trek ones, those ships.
Yeah. It's the most accountant friendly game ever made.
Accountant?
Yeah.
Like for math?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's basically accounting the game. It's spreadsheets the game.
Spreadsheets the game.
It really is. It's funny. But it's a fantastic game. And there's light ways to play it that don't cost you so much of a headache to do it all. But yeah, you're like keeping track of how much impulse energy you have, how far you can move, what you can do with it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's legit kind of crazy. But I would love to play it again. I just feel like it makes me an official really old man. It's like playing Napoleonics.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. The only people that are playing Starfleet battles are people that played it when they were like when I was a kid.
Right.
There's probably some people that really love Star Trek that would play it, but it's not like a game that you ever heard about.
Yeah.
All the books are repressed from like the 80s. I don't know how many of the captain's logs made it into maybe the 90s, but now they've just been living off of that.
Oh boy. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely an older game.
And when Shapeways went out of business, I think they've come back, but Shapeways went out of business, and the people that had the license to make the STLs that you could buy for the ships like I have only were licensed to print through Shapeways. And so it was AFB, these guys in Amarillo, Texas, to give you an idea of how small this whole thing was.
That's where you got it.
There's nothing in Amarillo, Texas, except cattle and farming.
And these guys.
And a college. And that teaches you cattle and farming. And these guys, I think they're called, I forget what their name was, AFB or something. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, so they did the STLs. And now it's been difficult to even get the ships. But now there's guys that are doing them in resin that are actually good, because the ones I have, the Shapeways resin's horrible. It's fuzzy. It doesn't make good painting. It's horrible.
It's a little bit interesting.
It's horrible. So I'm excited to one day get my hands on some STLs for Starfleet battles that have better resin, and then get those ships that have crisp, smooth details. Because the old metal models are better than the Shapeways ones. But you can't buy them, really.
Fridge is asking, what was that whimsical game that Jason was painting at one point that only took 3 pieces to have an army? Those pieces intrigued me for palette cleansing.
Moonstone?
Moonstone. Yes. Moonstone, Frigid. Great game, by the way. It's a very fun skirmish game.
Yeah, Chris and Gabe played it, and I watched, and it was fun to watch.
I do very much enjoy that game. If you're into that kind of style, it's a very committal game, but the models are really cool. It's fun. There's no competitive side, I feel like, to it. There's some bluffing involved. It's fun. Mo says, don't forget you already have the decals for them too.
Yeah, we ordered decals named the ships. Some of the people we named them for don't work here anymore. We got that going for us.
Stan says, Jason, do you remember your first plastic miniature? I assume from metal. Do you remember if you hated the change?
Plastic.
From metal to plastic, did you hate that change?
No.
It was very well.
No, plastic. Right? I mean, because I built scale models. So all the scale models were in plastic and resin and a couple of things that you would get on, like, etched brass sheet.
Etched? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the brass etched sheet, you would get, like, tow hooks for your tanks. And that's the way that a lot of companies did custom bits for the scale model world for a long time, was just brass etched pieces. Especially for airplanes and stuff. So I was a fan of plastic and had been using plastic for eons in scale modeling. Tamiya, Hasegawa, stuff like that was high on my list of awesome to build.
Yeah.
So what I think my first miniature, like wargaming style miniature in plastic would probably have had to have been from GW, because they were the first ones to do it. So it was probably like the original Space Marines and Orcs, like the Rogue Trader Space Marines that came in plastic. The Space Marine game that had the Titans, the original Epic. Right?
Oh, yeah, Epic.
Right?
It's literally the 40K. Now, if they came out with 40K Epic, that'd be pretty cool.
That's where it started.
I'd be into that.
And that was the joke, was that's where the Horus Heresy came from.
Oh.
And it's not really a joke. I know I've talked to people in the studio that have confirmed that, yes, when they were starting out with that Space Marine game where it was just the Titans versus Titans with some little tanks and Space Marine dudes, that they could only afford the molds for one set of molds.
Oh.
And those molds were the Titans and everything. So they had to make it good version versus bad version. They couldn't do the orcs and another race because they didn't have the money to do the molds.
Yeah.
So that game is it's just different colored versions. I think the first one was blue and red of the same force.
Yeah.
And up against each other. And they say that out of that, the psychology of that had to make it make sense, and that's where the Horus Heresy was brother turning on brother, and that fit that whole narrative.
Interesting.
So take that as an urban myth, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, so
that's very, yeah.
But yeah, there were plastics like that were what we would call very cheap board game plastics back in the day. Those were probably the first. I don't know that I really cared back then, because when you were looking at metal models, it was tough. The younger you were, the tougher it was to make metal models work.
Yeah.
Because there's so much you have to do, right? Filing, polishing, gluing with super glue that never worked, that kind of stuff was always a pain in the. It was literally a pain in the butt. So
Wad, take it easy.
It was literally a pain in the butt. So I don't know that I would have ever had a complaint about
from the Switch
about switching to plastic. When I wound up working for GW, that time before I worked at GW, which would be the late 90s leading up to the early 2000s, right?
Uh-huh.
That time was when I was really getting back into the gaming and miniature painting stuff. I was doing some competition painting, some commission painting, and having a lot of fun in that world again. And plastic, of course, was great because I loved to convert models. And so, Forge World was coming out with stuff that was pretty cool. And so we were playing with Forge World stuff, dreadnoughts, and converting resin. So resin was really neat because it was like super easy to convert. But yeah, I don't know that I was ever bummed about plastic. Plastic's the best thing to happen to the hobby.
Coyote Clausen says, Jason, with the Armageddon coming out, should I paint the Marines as Blood Angels to match the rest of my Marine collection, or a different chapter? If I have used the Blood Angels, should I try a brighter carmine red for the armor or a darker blood red?
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
I am always rule of cool. Do what you think you want to do. So are you intrigued by Blood Angels?
Yeah.
If you've already done a bunch of Blood Angels, maybe doing another chapter would be cool for you to step out of that. I'm always a fan of trying new things, so that could work. If you love Blood Angels and you want to add to your force with these new models, then I think that would be the idea. As far as then color, if you're matching a force, stick to the color you got unless there's a story to not. And if you're just going to do another Blood Angels force because to heck with it, I just love Blood Angels, then I think everything you just mentioned was good. I like a darker one, like not quite Flesh Terror style, dark ruby red, but I think something in a darker red could be really bitchin'.
Tech Badger, take it easy. Wad, take it easy.
Everybody's abandoning us.
Leaving. Perfect opportunity to paint some bald angels. Very much so.
Also true.
Just use all the bald heads.
Also true.
There's many bald heads out there for Space Marines. I know that for sure.
One thing I've learned by cleaning plastic with a knife is every head is a bald head if you try hard enough.
There you go. Wow. $10 milkshake says, I'm not leaving, and that's what matters.
$10 or $10?
$10.
$10 milkshake. You must be shopping at Cold Stone Creamery.
Little Billy says, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I can expect that.
So, yeah, great question, Little Billy. Next question. No, I'm just
you
kidding.
Could blend a hybrid 40K faction between a Xenos race and any Space Marine religion, what would it be? It would have to be Tau, right? Because there's already memes out there of Space Marines that have joined the greater good.
Oh, I see. Are Tau, like, cleaning up everybody? Is that the case? Like, Tau, is that their lore? They're, like, going through and... what's their deal?
They don't assimilate, but they kind of want to assimilate. Yeah, because they got the Kroot, and they got the Vespid, and they have all these alien groups that they've come through and convinced to join the greater good.
They're the They're the newest race in the universe or whatever,
They're
right?
the youngest.
The youngest.
Yeah.
There it is.
They're the youngest race in the universe. They're not the newest because they came back with squats.
Who wouldn't want to be with Tao, says Justin Grumpy. I don't know. Sounds like a great place. I don't know.
That's what they tell you to say, so you better not say anything else.
Isaac Schaefer says, I discovered that dark magenta glaze on copper created a very cool glow effect.
Ooh, nice.
Are there any other paints that create these kinds of glow effects?
Well, I would have to see it to understand what you're saying, but there are all our entire transparent line works the same as dark magenta.
All of them.
Dark magenta is just a very transparent color. So your glow comment makes me think that it's because it's allowing the tinted color of the copper to show through, but it's still retaining a lot of that magenta, which is cool. So yeah, all the transparent colors do that.
Mo says they say assimilate, but it's really to slow genocide of other races. Yikes. The Tau, but they look so nice. They're just
have
fish
you looked
people.
at these guns?
They're fish people.
Have you looked at these guns?
I guess they just
There's nothing nice
destroy
about
crap.
these guns.
No, they're not. How did anybody compete against these guys?
Hide from the guns?
I guess that's one way to do it.
I mean, it's 40K. Nothing ever plays the way it looks.
I was just about to say that.
Right? Like, literally nothing ever plays the way it looks. You read the stories of Space Marines and you fall in love with it, and then you can put Space Marines on the table and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. These guys are all gone now.
My Space Marines couldn't die to flashlights from Imperial Guard. What is going on here?
G-Man says, Jason, you said you got a lot of your models used, but what do you use to strip them of paint? G-Man, we reprime them with our beautiful rattle can primer or our airbrush primer.
Yeah, 100% we reprime.
I just reprimed a bunch of those whatever crisis suits.
Yeah, I was gonna show you, but they're not here any longer. He took them and primed them. So all of these models were in this. Oh yeah, I do. We have the ones that you didn't do the Riptide.
I haven't done any of those yet.
So this whole army, well, other than the first guy that I painted in the broad side, was like this.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
They're painted really well. I commended the guy that I bought them from when they showed up. Is that I had to put a couple pieces back on, but he painted them really well. They're very clean. You could tell he really loved the army. He spent a lot of time cleaning them. The paint is nice and smooth. So it made it very, very easy to reprime and still hold all the detail, straight, crisp lines for the panel lines, everything. He did a great job. He did a bunch of single coat paint and some edge highlighting, and it shows you how, we talked about it, it shows you how great you can do without having to get very complicated. It's flat in color because the color doesn't have any shading to it, but it works. So you should be very proud if you can get an army to look like this. And then we're just taking them and making them on our own, right? So I based this guy, but just turning our own color scheme. But it all comes from this basic starting point. I like to buy models that are already put together is the key, because I hate building that many models. And so for me, it was more of how is the quality of build than anything else.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of used models typically lately myself.
And a lot of them are just garbage because they're painted like a 3-year-old just shoved them in a paint can and pulled them out. They're just glommed. Yeah. I always look close. I have them send me good pictures so I can see if there's any texture to the surface. If there's a lot of texture to the surface, I generally don't buy them because I can't. Another layer of paint just makes that texture more amplified, covers more detail. But when you can find them that look smooth, have got clean join lines, don't have like sprue bits sticking off of them everywhere, I jump on those when I can if it's something that I'm interested in. We've bought a lot. It's hit or miss because some people will rope-a-dope you. You know, I've had people send me pictures and then not send me what they sent me pictures of.
Yeah.
I had one guy send a bunch of models and they showed up and there was all but one model were broken out of like 72 models.
Yeah.
And so I took a picture of all the broken pieces in a pile, of all the models in a pile, and I got my money back and sent it back to him because I was like, this is not what I'm buying for. But that's a whole other story. That was more about shipping because I keep joking with Chris, we need to do a video on how to ship models because one of the worst things about buying other people's pre-built models is they typically don't arrive in a built condition anymore because people just throw them in a box and assume they're safe. And
I don't think that's a bad idea, but it's like that doesn't really make sense for us to do that because we don't ship models.
Yeah.
But we do have tips on doing that.
Yeah. Just be conscious that,
don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
That's why we did that building video too. That building stream was
There's already way too many of that guy.
Chris, please stop fingering the camera. Whoa!
Hey, that's not the kind of language we do here.
Don't talk to me that way, Mo. I know you like it. Bing, 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 bing. That's a touch of bronze, courtesy of T. Schmid. Speaking of T. Schmid, if I'm planning a heavy black nooshing of black armor, would Raven Black Spray be a good starting point? From Colorforge.
Sure.
Raven Black's a dope color.
It's kind of like our coal black. Not quite the same, but it's similar in that vein. I don't want to do a whole lot over here. I'm okay with it not having much life to it. It's fine. It's fine.
Also, don't send them FedEx. Yeah, they could be lost on a plane that crashes onto a destitute island next to a
volleyball. Soccer ball? Volleyball?
Volleyball.
Volleyball? Was he a volleyball?
He was a volleyball. Wilson, I'm sorry. Great movie, by the way. Okay, going back to that question, that's one of my favorite movies, Castaway.
I haven't seen it in a bajillion years.
I would say it's up there. Acting's really good. Tom Hanks did a good job. I'm not a huge it's not gonna be good, but unpopular opinion, not a huge Tom Hanks fan.
Yeah.
I think he's okay in a lot of things, but I liked his older stuff. Like Castaway, I thought he was excellent in.
Green Mile, he was good.
Green Mile, yeah. Little Willie says, I am moving into a new space and was able to get myself a little hobby desk instead of painting on my coffee table like a floor gremlin. Excited to try an airbrush with all the Pro Acryl products.
Nice.
What a civil comment you just made, Little Billy. And good at ya.
Should we be worried?
So glad you're making it through this world. You know? Glad you're not sitting on the floor anymore. So good on you, man. Woohoo!
Chris, you got to be nice.
I'm very kind. That was literally everything I just said. That was a beautiful comment. You know. Woo! Woohoo! Little Billy.
Here we go.
Meeple says, "What is for dinner tonight? Queso? You can queso dip right out of here."
Excuse you?
Yes, queso every night. The hospital doesn't pay me enough to afford us a seat, says Little Billy. Way to rub it in, Chris. Hey, Little Billy.
Can you pop in close?
Yeah, sure.
Since I'm doing little deets and doots and nobody can see what I'm doing.
You've got your own buttons, sir.
Yeah, and both my hands are doing the job right now. While yours
Chris,
are doing a touch of bronze.
Chris, what did you do? Why does it look like you're wearing those disguise glasses? Thank you, Jarls Tony. That's hilarious. You've Got Mail is the best Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan rom-com. I haven't seen that one. I've not seen You Got Mail. Queso, I hardly know her. Thank you, Spaznat. Many points to you. Forbidden Coffee says, my first computer desk was a coffee table I made in high school, stacked on top of all the computer part boxes. That's one way to do it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. That's right.
Now it's Bright Ivory and doing all your lines again.
Thank you, T. Schmidt. It was very sincere what I just said.
Except now you're T. Schmidt. You better not be siding with Christopher.
Of course he is. This is T. Schmidt's fault, by the way. Let's just face it. Bing, 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 bing. Sigvac says, I got a really good deal on a tempered glass palette from Amazon. And to be honest, it's much easier for me to control the consistency and much more predictable.
100%.
I also noticed a huge reduction in unwanted texture. Only downside is the constant mixing, but I need to get over being exact and go with it. Nice.
So here's a thing, and that I've said before, and people don't listen to me, and that's fine. You don't have to. Wet palettes create pilled up pieces of surface, right? That paper will shed Some of the newer ones don't. They've gone back and re-engineered, some of these companies have, to get better paper that doesn't do that. But when you flood it and rub your brush against it, you pill up the surface, and you can get these micro textures from the fiber out of that paper. So just be careful. Just be careful.
Just be careful.
Glass palette, best palette.
Why not the little tin palette that you reprime 1,000 times, Jason?
Because why would you prime your palette?
Because why wouldn't I?
Horrible idea.
I could just ask that twice. Little Buddy says, thank you, T. Schmidt. Glad someone cares.
Palettes are literally, it's all like all tools. It's subjective. That's what we say around here all the time. We've been having some fun in the Discord about it, but the reality is,
use a paper plate.
The right tool is the tool that gets the job done. You've heard me say it a million times if you've been here for very long, and I stick by it. There is no right tool. There's only the tool you enjoy. And if you enjoy a tool that nobody else does, and it becomes the right tool for you, then who am I or anybody else the one to tell you to change it?
Non-metallic meatballs. That's hilarious. Tortilla palette is the best palette. I would love to make a video.
Painting on a tortilla?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is you can eat it afterwards, right? That's the whole point.
What did you just say?
You can eat the tortilla, right? I stand by it. You can eat a tortilla.
Put that on the whiteboard.
I've seen you.
Don't
I've
eat
seen
the
you
paint.
eat tortillas.
You can't eat the paint. I came in just at the right time, says Ryan Prisoner, so I eat the paint. Here we go. Don't eat the paint. No.
Eat the tortilla.
Well, but what if I put the paint on the tortilla?
Well, then clean the paint off the tortilla, because you don't want to waste the tortilla.
You can't fully remove the paint from the tortilla.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
You know what, Jason? You're right. We'll get that paint off that tortilla. I want to challenge Jason to paint the rest of his Tau army with a tortilla palette. We can make it happen.
Is that a challenge?
Yes, it is. It would be. If so, is that considered cannibalism? Do Tau eat sushi? I don't think they eat sushi. Somebody Google that.
I don't. So I was taught very young.
Okay.
Some questions you do not want the answers to.
What?
And I feel like we're very close to treading in that territory.
About the whole, like, if Tau eats sushi?
Yeah, like, what do Tau eat thing?
What
like,
does
maybe
somebody
it's a
tell us?
question better left unanswered. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Ooh, Stan.
We don't need to
Good
know
idea.
everything. We just don't.
Mm-hmm. Brew for the Brew God says, I finally got the pigment set. Nice. Any tips on using them would be great. I'm not sure how to fix them or if I should even do that. When you blend with a fixer, is the texture gone or does the dusty look come back when dried?
It
Great question.
Depends, right? It is a great question. The thing that I've found that works the best is to set more pigment than you want, but you got to be careful there, right?
Yeah.
But you put more pigment than you need color-wise in an area, and then I use a varnish to set it, right? So I'll just use matte varnish. I'll put the matte varnish over the pigment, and once the matte varnish cures, then generally I'm left with a lower intensity of pigment because some of it will wash with the varnish depending on if you brush. If you brush it, you're going to move more. Airbrushing varnish is much easier, but you have to do it at low pressure or just dusting, right? Because you don't want the air to move your pigment first, okay? Now, the nice thing is that when you're talking about these pigments, they're at super, super fine granular level of the pigment. So it grabs the surface of the model when you use matte colors anyway. It takes a lot to get them off. I've shown you before when we did pigments on the models is that you can't rub it off with your finger. It will dim it a little bit, but you can't get the color gone because it grabs into the paint. So you don't have to worry about it too much. And like I said, I just like varnish. I like matte varnish over the top. Works like a champ. You can mix matte varnish with it if you want to make mud and other effects with them. That looks great too.
Commando Ken. That's a great one. Who does number Tau work for? I can't believe Jason didn't say that one yet.
I am ashamed.
It's not whether you win or lose, says Double T. It's how you play the game. Perfect. You guys are good. Hired. Let's get these W-2s signed. Let's go.
That's not how that works.
Ryan Scurvy, would you mix varnish if you wanted to put pigment deposit lines in things like Space Marine boots? Not to look overly dusty, but to have pigment in the lines. Interesting.
I mean, I prefer washes for anything that wants to go inside of a panel line like that, right? So, taking a color, turning it into a wash and doing that works a lot better. But yes, you could. It's just going to be, getting pigment to go in a specific location like a panel line is a little tougher than if it's in a liquid form with the paint. So that's my 2 cents on that. I prefer to use thin down paint with a glazed wash medium or special sauce or something like that over dry pigment. Dry pigment is more of a all over the surface kind of a effect and not a pinpoint detail effect. But nothing's impossible. You can give it a go. At the end of the day, it's just powdered color. If you can make it work, good on you.
Tau cents, you say? Tau.
What?
That's too. Little Billy, that's a stretch. Tau cents, like 2 cents. Tau and 2. That's a stretch.
I mean, you just did it for Tau's Day.
Yeah, it is, but that's like Tau's Day. Like, it's pretty dang close. If we're just replacing Tau with 2, I don't know about that. But who does number Tau work for? It works.
Very good.
It's very confusing science, but we'll figure it out. Tau's at Hanging Nerds, says Double T. Hey, super glad you made this segue. We're doing great. Hopefully you're all doing great. We're having a great time here. Painting Tau. Having fun. Kicking it back. Derelict says, thank you for the amazing new one-step paints.
Thank you for loving them.
Glad you like it. Muffin truck. What about Towdy, y'all?
Okay.
Towdy? Like Towdy, y'all?
All right. I'm there.
Speaking of varnish, would you mind selling me on why I should try your varnish instead of competitors, says Isaac Schaefer.
I mean,
because it's better.
I mean, it's Procro. Do you like Procro paints? Our matte varnish gets ultra matte without all the problems other ultra matte varnishes have.
Yeah,
right?
Like not being ultra matte.
Yeah, or yellowing or flaking over time and stuff like that. Very durable and going to give you a great finish every time.
Isaac says, I mean, I'm going to use yours anyway, but I'm curious. Yeah, it's definitely very ultra matte. And if you haven't tried our spray can matte varnish as well, that's also amazing. I put that stuff on everything, every project when I'm done. I truly do. It's awesome. Because it kind of blends everything together.
Yeah, it does.
Which is why I do it. Obviously, I wouldn't throw soup on it afterwards, but it's definitely also super, super protective, especially if you're, playing with your models on like tabletop games, right? So that's what I would say.
That's his TED Talk.
That is my TED Talk. So go buy some varnish. Blammer. Schlanky. Marketing accomplished. There you go. Sold.
Marketing.
Yes, Isaac. Yes, we do. Go check it out. We do have a matte varnish in a spray can. It's awesome.
It is amazeballs. All of our spray primers and varnish is amazing.
Ryan Scurvy, Chris, are you getting the new Armageddon Orc models? No, but those new War Bosses are pretty cool. I'm just upset they haven't come out with new knobs yet. We've gotten 2 iterations of new boys. I just want knobs.
Dude, there's 5 in the Armageddon set.
No, they're not technically knobs.
They are knobs. That's exactly what the knob kit is going to be, is those guys with other weapons.
No,
I guarantee it. They are knobs.
They're 3.
There's 5.
Are you sure?
Yep. The one guy riding on the truck is flat-footed, and you can put him on a base. And there's 4 other ones. There's the banner bearer, and then the 3 squad guys.
Oh, I take that back.
That's your knobs.
Interesting.
I guarantee it.
I'm probably not going to buy them. That's the moral of that story. You think they'll do that?
Guarantee that's what they always do.
Interesting.
They just need to put different weapons on them, and they're knobs.
It would be cool if they had different weapons.
Because all the knobs were the same guys that were like, if they put a boss knob in with the boys, it was the same model.
The knob box was pretty old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They haven't updated that kit in a minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This has 5 knobs in it. So and it may even have the bits that you could just do it that way anyway. Now, obviously, you're left without a rider for that truck thing that they got in there. But.
Yeah, Ryan says, I bet knobs will be coming out soon. About to be Orc season with the new edition. Probably. They're probably going to come out very soon, I would imagine. Because they're also releasing all of this. That's what they did with their other stuff. But yeah, they are pretty cool. Oh. They already took Ludas and Burnas off the website. So they're definitely coming soon. Interesting. Very interesting. We'll see. Who's Mark and why are you eating him? Why are you eating him? Panic Bomb, you misspelled that. What are you trying to say?
Excuse me?
What are you trying to say, Panic Bomb? My stack of Warhammer Spearheads now stacks up to my chest, and I've never played a TTG. Welcome to everybody's problem. People like to buy their boxes of models. Just build them. Build all your models. Take a weekend. Build them all. Then prime them. Just put primer on them, and you'll probably be extremely inspired to do something.
That's your motivator for sure.
When you build a
model, as soon as I get built and primed, it's like it's happening. It's real.
Ted Onion says, "What should I get for dinner?"
I don't know. I'm not hungry at all.
Drott says, "I have 23 spearhead armies." Wow. Feta chili, says Ryan. Ryan Scurvy.
Now
we don't talk about feta chili around
here. Hear me
here.
out. Hear me out. The naysayers don't believe, but hear me out. It'll be the best thing ever.
We're waiting.
You're not waiting. I've talked about it forever. You just want to.
We're waiting. Like you were about to pitch it. Tell us, Jason. What is Slick Willie's?
Slick Willie's feta chili. Cheesecake steak. Breakfast sushi. And Jen and I came up with another one. I don't remember what it is. Maybe if she comes on here, maybe she can remember what it is.
B Perky says, I'm thinking about getting the Ninja Rat Spearhead. I would play Spearhead if they would just let the rules be better and not lock you into an army.
Oh, and Bolo Taco.
Bolo Taco.
Bolo Taco.
Explain
it's
yourself.
Now got Bolo Taco at Slick Willie's Feta Chili.
Okay.
It's Bolo Taco. Right? So.
Bolo Taco, says Jen.
Yeah, Bolo Taco. Right.
Yes, Little Billy, we saw that as well.
Put out a bolo on the taco. It's just a bowl o taco.
Wait.
But everybody will wear bolo ties to get the joke across.
Oh wait, okay. Who's wearing the bow ties?
The server.
The server's wearing, but what if they don't
bolo tie?
Yeah, I get it.
Nobody said bow tie.
No, I said bolo tie. So I get that, but then they get a bolo taco.
Yes,
like a taco bowl.
You're getting it. Marketing.
There it is. We're really hoping that this comes to fruition.
You and me both.
Here's
just waiting
the
for investors.
Kickstarter link.
Just need investors.
We need
$1.2
million.
Private or public, we're waiting for you.
We need $1.2 million.
I think I could do it with $1.2 million.
You probably could. We could start a Kickstarter. Hobby company starts Slick Willie's Feta Chili.
Does Will Hahn know that this all started with him?
I guess so. I don't think so. Probably not.
Slick Willie.
Slick Willie. Feta Chili. Taco Bell, Arby's, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Subway, Wendy's, Burger King, or KFC, says Ted Onions. That's a lot of options.
None of them sound good to me.
Yeah.
only because I'm not hungry. So you're not going to get me interested in any food talk at all. I'm not hungry. Which is not going to please Jen when it comes time to figure out what's for dinner tonight.
Slick Willie's feta chili for Little Billy's Bolo Taco Grilly over the hilly. Little Billy, that's not allowed to be that silly, mister.
So you're not allowed to inject your name into my IP?
we that's IP infringement. Bald man, sue him. Game delay.
Bald man.
Get him.
My attorneys will be contacting you.
I would really like to see Little Billy and Bald Man, our beautiful community members, in court for us one day. That would just make me laugh. Like, here's our representatives. And they're both great painters, too. Assuming that Bald Man doesn't go to jail for all of his lying about his hair between now and when we have to sue somebody for stealing our AP, Little Billy.
Yeah, between now and when we have to sue one of our customers for inserting his name into our restaurant sign. It's going to be a big sign. Because it just keeps growing.
That would be hilarious, though. It's like the longest video game title was, I think it was the Lord of the Rings game, the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, Rise of the Witch King, Shadow of Angmar.
What?
Yeah, I think that technically, somebody will have to correct me, but I believe that holds the title of the longest video game title.
Like, whoever did that is just an idiot.
It was an amazing game, though.
Was it?
Oh my gosh, I loved that game.
Well, you might have loved it, but was it actually a good game?
It was amazing, but you don't like those style of games. You don't like RTSs. And it was
it an RTS?
It was a Lord of the Rings RTS, and it was freaking awesome. What's the longest game ever titled? Lord of the Rings. Okay, it's one of them. The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King was the name of that game. I'm surprised you don't like RTSs, Jason.
Oh my god, dude. They make me
It really is. It's very surprising.
They make me cringe.
Yes, Mojo, I know you can get that, and there's a huge community around that game still.
I can't stand managing
the
units and
really
and the stress it puts on you to be like paying attention where the action isn't happening. I'm like, no, it's not what video games are for.
The economy portion you're not a huge fan of?
It's like, geez, man, I just got home from work. Why am I working again?
I do like RTSs. They're very fun.
I tried, man. I did a bunch of work for a company. I've talked about it before, Ion Storm, and they had one they were trying to do, and it looked cool, but it was just like, what are you doing? This is horrible.
Little Billy says we'd be playing Dark Heresy. No, but I'll be playing Dawn of War 4 and Total War Warhammer 40K, obviously. Those games are very crazy. But yes, I've played a lot of Total War. Total War Warhammer, I played a boatload of that. That game, freaking love that game. Songs of Conquest, also another amazing RTS out right now.
The Total War Warhammer 40K looks kind of fun.
It does.
Because you have to manage way more than on a planet like all the other ones.
Yeah, just do the battles where you just pick your units and then strategize how they fight each other.
No, but this one you have to do the whole space campaign.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be big. I'm curious how they'll do their multiplayer, if they're gonna keep that feature. Just kind of like what Total War does. Well, it is Total War franchise, so I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Where you can literally just set your point value and then you just go fight a random person.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never done that. I played Total War Shogun.
Yeah. Total Wars are very fun games.
For a minute. Then they get real boring. Once you get your units figured out, and then you're like, yeah, I just do the same thing every time.
Yeah, some people like to try different combos and builds, which makes it fun. But I just like those kinds of games. But you have to be into it. I'd love to see a civilization-style game in Warhammer or BattleTech universes. Yeah. I think you're going to like probably that Total War game. It's pretty cool.
I like Civ games.
Oh, you do?
I like some of those. Yeah, some of those are cool. Those are not the same though. Those are not, the real time simulator thing.
Yeah, those
it's
are
like
more
when you
city
pause them, you can
builders.
pause them, and they, you can figure out what you want to do, and build a new building that gives you this unit and do the thing. But they again get really long in the tooth for me very quickly. So,
my favorite genre of game is city builder games. Probably, it's definitely up there.
coming from the guy who can't play survival games.
I feel like they're totally different, though. Right?
Why? Because you're building a house,
Building a city.
which is like building a house.
Yeah, that's not the same though. There's like a whole like economy portion in the city thing, which I really like.
Do you like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Oh, I play that all the time.
Oh my god!
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Classic on the Switch is one of my favorite games.
Dude, now we know why Chris and I are so opposite ends of the spectrum.
Dude, it's awesome. I love those games. Kingdoms and Castles, one of my favorite games out there right now. That's why I always punching monks for a living with old school RuneScape. I like those games. Old school RuneScape's different. That I don't play that anymore. But I do get into Xenobon. I never played the Beaver one. Little Billy. Chris, I think a game you should play is Patty Cake. Seems right up your alley. Maybe even rock, paper, scissors if you're feeling bold enough. That's hilarious.
Hey, careful. Chris is the carefree Rochambeau champion. He was on ESPN Ocho for Rochambeau.
Maybe you should try Patty Cake. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
He was on the Ocho.
A 40K Sims seems to be the crossover we've always wanted. TK, that would be ridiculous. Sim City, also
Love, life,
game.
and loss in the far-flung future.
Sim City was also an amazing city building game. Chris, are you the kind of player that deletes ladders on your pools to just drown people?
Yes.
Yikes.
100% he's done it. He's a vicious, cruel animal.
Jason, you liked Roller Coaster Tycoon too, didn't
I've
you?
Never even started a game like that.
It's hilarious.
Not even to try them.
Did you like Red Alert? Red Alert 2, man.
Never played them.
Red Alert 2 is the game I grew up on alongside Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Never played them. My friend Harvard Bonin.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, he did the Tiberian Sun.
Yeah,
Command
the Command
and Conquer.
Yeah.
Stuff. He was the executive producer, the main producer on the Tiberian Sun, or one of the main producers on the Tiberian Sun franchise. For
They were
EA.
fun.
I think it was EA. Is that EA? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But he always used to give me crap because I'm like, yeah, I hate those games. He's like,
it surprises
what?
me.
But you'll like. He was like, it's like saying you hate Brussels sprouts. He'd be like, but you like the way I cook it. I was like, no, those games are not for me, man. For years before I met you, I tried those games because everybody said you love them. I'm like, nope. That's why like Warcraft, the original ones, never really did it for me. When somebody said, oh, there's World of Warcraft, I was like, oh, joy.
That's crazy.
And then when it was an MMO, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. This is nothing at all like those crappy games.
We're just really glad that those games exist for some players and other games exist for other players. Just like painting.
Well, yeah, definitely. I'm not telling you that it's not a game you should enjoy.
Oh,
for me,
great.
it's crappy.
I love those games.
They don't hold my attention. I get really bored really quick because they're like, this is about the definition of repetition. Like when I look in the dictionary, it has this game's title on there.
And I actually, little Billy, I never played Maple Story. Never played that one. Warcraft 3 was the best game ever. Says Mojo.
Lots of people love it. Tons of my friends would try to get me into those games, and I'm like, nah. And then when Heroes of New Earth and Dota and all that stuff started coming out as the mods from it,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now this I can get with because it was different. It didn't have the resource nonsense and
Yeah, like MOBAs started coming out.
yeah, because they were all based off of that Warcraft mod.
I do like MOBAs. MOBAs are fun.
So that I had fun with in that genre.
Isaac Schaefer, I just ordered matte varnish. Hey!
Woo-hoo!
Nice. You're going to love it. It's a fantastic product. And I'm not just
You make
saying
good
that.
stuff.
Yeah, I just spray that on everything, Isaac Schaefer, and it gives it a really nice, cool matte blend. That's why I like it. It's very cool. Like our cool gray.
Cool. Cool like
Mo
Chris.
says it really is the best. Hey, Jason, it's cool like Jason. Wow, look at us. Look at us go.
It's cool like Chris.
Cool.
It's cool like Chris.
Cool gray.
Cool like
cool.
Chris. And cool like Chris.
There you go. You're going to love that. I guarantee it. You're going to like the way you look. Your models look. Don't spray it on yourself.
That's right.
But I bought it to spray for myself.
I matte varnished
It's
myself.
an amazing sunscreen.
Oh, Jesus. That's the kind
Don't
of
use it for sunscreen.
That's the kind of stuff that gets us in trouble.
Don't use it for sunscreen. If you do, you cannot tell them to come this way.
Well, the guy on the internet said...
Philip says, I looked away and thought I was listening to a group of pigeons with all this cooing. Cool. Cool, cool. Isaac, enjoy that. Only transparent white is good for sunscreen. I mean, it is zinc.
I would not put any of our products on your body and expect them to protect you from the sun. I'm just going to go out on a limb.
But it is pure zinc, Jason.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
I'll do it for you, chat. I'll test it out so you don't have to. I'll
Say goodbye to Chris.
I'll do that. I'll do that research for you.
Say goodbye to Chris, chat. Been nice knowing you. We had a good run.
Math Blasters. I've heard of that game. I never played that, Little Billy.
Math Blasters?
Yeah, there was a couple of those old PC games. I'm trying to remember. I bet money it works. Let's paint the model logo on Chris's back and put him in the sun. Mr. Blue. That's freaking hilarious. And I would love to do that. I would do it for you, chat.
This gets worse.
Everybody is talking about how our transparent white is made of zinc. Let's put that to the test. Make sure make sure your models don't get sunburned. We have to be careful with that in Arizona, you know.
That's melting.
I'm melting. Don't put any of that on your body. I have to say that for legal purposes here on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. And for all the other live streaming services, do not use our products as sunscreen replacement. That is incorrect and false. There you go. That's my TED Talk.
It was genuinely informative there, Chris.
I thought so. This is the part of the stream where Jason gets lost in the doots and deets of edge highlighting.
My God, dude. It's like making my eyes go cross-eyed.
And I've gone cross-eyed. Droth says, as Jason has paint on his thumb, which is a part of his body. That's true. Droth, don't look into that. That's his thumb palette. It's very scientific and has been tested, technically.
What do you mean?
Your thumb palette is technically putting paint on your body, and it has been tested, and Jason's fine, so there you go.
Or am I? I don't know that I would say what I am is fine, but, you know, you do you.
You're fine, Jason.
Oh, you're fine. Get back to painting, monkey.
Oh, you're painting all right. You are in Deets and Doots land.
I am. Holy.
Alex Button says, don't use it as sunscreen, but it's okay to eat. False. Great segue. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Do not eat the paint.
Oh, my God.
Do not do that. Do not consume it. Do not put it on your body. Put it on your models. And hey, if you are new here, we do this from 2 to 4 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, every weekday, I should say, from 2 to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time. And we're doing some Tau. Jason's doing some edge highlighting.
Oh, the edge highlighting.
And it'll look just so beautiful when it's all done.
Too much.
Jason likes to do this to himself. But that's the name of the game.
Well, you know what? It's like on these, if you want them to look decent, this is the whole game with Tau.
This is the whole game, man.
I don't have to do this much highlighting on any other army I can readily think about.
But you enjoy the process, right? You? Yes, you are. For the viewer, he enjoys this. Don't look at the man behind the screen. He is loving this, aren't you, Jason?
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
No, you like it.
I really do. I mean, you know, the repetitiveness of it is kind of like why I don't play RTS games.
I was just about to say, and you don't like RTS games.
Well, these two track very well together. This is my least favorite part. But the nice thing is that this brings the model, and especially in a painting, not really technique, but in a style of painting like what we're doing on these guys that gives you so much for so low effort.
Yeah.
This is the high effort part, and it's not very high effort, right? You're not blending, you're just putting paint in the right place.
It's not right.
Trying not to be sloppy and keep your lines as thin as possible. But at the end of the day, this is all the effect. This is what sells the paint job.
Yeah.
These guys are nothing more than airbrush and edge highlighting.
That's what I was going to say.
All they are. And so at the end of the day, the edge highlighting does the heavy lifting. And it's not a hard process. It's just tedious on these guys because so many lines.
But then once you're done, it's done.
It's great. Yeah, and it's great. And like I said, every line you put down makes an area look that much better. You know, and because it is the only thing that's carrying the model really, we are doing the edge highlighting twice, right? We're doing a mid-tone edge highlight. What I call a mid-tone edge highlight, it's still a bright color, but it's not a high value as you want. And then going back and doing the deets and doots of the corners and half line marks and things like that with the bright ivory to really punch the volumes home. So you're not having to do a whole lot of different steps. It's just repeating the same step.
And yes, Tadpole Jackson, these models do have magnets on them.
On the base, yeah.
On the base.
This guy had magnets on his arms and stuff for the weapons, but I got rid of them.
One of those guys I found had magnets on it, on one of the guns.
Yeah.
The Storm, whatever they're called, the little guys.
The Crisis suits.
Crisis suit,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, a couple of the ones with the fusion blasters, like the big gun on his shoulder here.
Kapew, kapew.
The fusion blaster guys have their weapons magnetized. I didn't get rid of the magnets on them because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But
they didn't come off when I was spraying them. One of them did, but I'm like, oh, this is magnetized.
Yeah.
Which is a choice.
It's I tried to get rid of all the I got rid of all the magnets on this guy.
Yeah.
He had his carapace gun and the arm gun were magnetized, and I got rid of all of them. Because they didn't have it didn't ship with it had both the guns that go under the arm, and those were magnetized.
Yeah.
It didn't have the carapace weapons. So it didn't have the little thing that the carapace weapons hook onto. This thing, there's a stud that sticks off the side of the jump pack or whatever that is that holds the carapace weapons, like this guy.
Right. Oh, right, yeah.
Like those.
Oh.
It didn't have any of these bits for this.
Huh.
And so I had to make them out of drone bits. So I made the drone bits, and then I put the what's supposed to be the arm gun on his shoulder, again making it out of drone bits in a whole mechanism
like
that
this,
I did
though.
that to where it's on. I like this cool. I think it's cool.
It's very, I don't want to say simplistic, but it's like not as lanky.
It gives some difference to them too, like different models or something like that.
Like if you had another one, you could build it probably out of the box, and you'd have two different looking ones, which I guess is the definition of kit bashing.
Correct.
Droth says swappable weapons are for the WYSIW YG players. I have no idea what that means.
What you see is what you get.
Oh,
WYSIWYG.
WYSIWYG. Yeah, that's true. What you see is what you get. Oh, I mean, like to make sure that you're being official in like a tournament.
Yes, like if
that.
you have to play with what's on the model.
Right. I get it.
Literally nobody should do that to you ever, anywhere.
Do they?
They should.
Is that really
no,
popular?
No, it's
actually, I'm just not.
It's very gatekeepy because it is in most circumstances, right? It means that you build to the meta. And then what are you supposed to do if you build your model for what works great right now, and then this weapon is no longer good in the future? Do you cut it off and put another weapon on there? It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
You keep your battle cards with you, you keep your unit cards, and you just play with what you say it is. And just be a reasonably nice person. Don't be a dick and don't cheat, and then there's no problem with any of that. Anybody that cheats at tabletop war games, there's a special ring in hell for you.
Yeah, that's kind of because you don't want to limit yourself, because you're right. They change the rules so often. Like with all my AOS stuff, that would have been such a bummer. Because I'm like,
well, and model for the rule of cool. If you think a particular, because there's a lot of times where the cool looking gun is not worth a damn.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like
true.
in Tau, the burst cannons I think are some of the better looking weapons, but they're not always going to be the best weapon for the platform you're building.
Yep.
So, you know, do what you think you are going to enjoy the most, and don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going through that with my little armigers right now for Horus Heresy. I'm like, should I build them this way? Or should I give them the claws? Should I just give them all different weapons? So I'm kind of leaning towards just giving them all different weapons. And then just saying they got claws and such.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Mo says, don't be a dick can be hard for some people.
100%.
Pun not intended.
Don't hang out with those people.
Yeah.
Don't hang out with those people. Don't let them ruin your game.
Yeah.
If you're having it, you know what? I have done this before. I've been playing with people who have either been so hell-bent and destined on winning that they are no longer fun. You know, sore winners, sore losers, all of the above. And it's like, hey, dude, you know, if it's that important for you to take home the win, I totally get it. I'm not interested in playing like this, so you can just have it. I'm going to go ahead and forfeit. In most competitive tournaments, that will piss them off to the point to where they'll be nice. Because if you forfeit, they don't get the possible victory points of the win. Because they didn't play. They just get the... I don't know what the tiebreaker victory points.
Oh.
They don't get the full victory points they could have walked away from, and a lot of people take note of that. So if you say, hey, listen, man, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the win, they'll calm down. Because if you're playing in a tournament, they're like, oh, whoa, I need all my points, so I'm sorry, I'll level out and be nice and whatever, and you can finish the game out. But I've had to tell people that before in War Machine. I'm like, look, dude, no big deal, you can win. And they won't get the right amount of points for the win.
Oh, I see.
And that's not me, you know, being a turd. It's just me being like, dude, listen, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I could be literally anywhere but here right now and having a better time. And that's not the way this game should be.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never played those before. Luke's missing hand says, "Hi y'all. From what you're doing with Tau and Stream was inspired me to do my MCP Sentinels in this style."
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say this works great for anything with lots of armor.
Big robots.
It works better on things that do have a lot of panel lines because the edge detailing is doing so much of the heavy lifting for us. So you need a model that has a lot of the edge detailing. Otherwise, it looks too airbrushed. Here, the reason why the airbrushing tends to sink into the background and just become a nice blend is because there's so many edges. So I don't know that I would do this on, you know, orcs or something like that. You know, even Space Marines are tough because they don't have a lot of panel breakup except for the edges of the armor.
Right.
So Tau are perfect for it. Gundam is perfect for this. You know, any big stompy robots that have more to them. Tanks look great like this. So yeah, it's a technique you can use on a lot of different figures, not just Tau.
Nimrod is a prime candidate for this. I'm thinking, oh yeah, absolutely, Luke.
Well, that new Nimrod model is rad.
Yeah,
I didn't even know who he was. I had to go look it up because when Dallas showed me, and then I saw the AMG release, I was like, oh, dude, that model's rad.
Yeah,
I don't even know what he is, but that's cool.
I enjoyed painting up those Sentinels. They're very fun.
Yeah, and same thing, and hopefully you really are grasping how quick, even though you know we're sitting here taking hours to do panel lines. You know, the actual paint scheme goes pretty quick. And if you're doing this on something like MCP, where you only have it max, 10 models?
I mean,
that's all you can take, right?
I think so.
I guess if you take some of the ones that like have the little minion models, then you can have more. But you're really like a dozen models max, I think, for MCP. And this would be great because it would just give you a really good look for something that was heavily armored, and go quick. You know, hopefully that's the takeaway. And for me, that's what kind of gives me the wherewithal to really try to get an army done, is when I can see the kind of quick progress that you can make with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't seem like such a overwhelming thing. And for me, that's huge. Because even though I paint a lot, I still understand the value of my time.
Yep.
And being able to say, yeah, I really think I can do this, and it not just soak my life away is a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's the name of the game, especially with these kinds of things, right? If you can get those very gratifying quick wins, it feels very good.
Well, yeah, because for me, I know the limitations of speed painting.
Yeah. Speed
painting is always going to give me a model that I'm ultimately not going to be happy with long term.
Yeah, it
just is, because it's going to be cutting too many corners for being fast.
Yeah.
So I prefer to come up with color schemes and processes like this that give me a result that I can enjoy at the time I'm doing it. And then if I want to add to it, I can always come back on this, because there's nothing sloppy looking about it.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing that says that you have to go back and make up for the decisions you made. You simply have to add more paint. You know, you could do weathering, you could do decals, you could add more color onto it. You know, if I just do them very monochromatic, you could come back and do all the Tau emblems in whatever color you want.
Yeah.
You know, you could do weapon glow effects on everything. So I've said forever that one of the keys for me is to make sure that the work we do looks good, even though it might not be all the work you could do. Start every model very similarly in terms of your process. So do a good prime coat. If you do a zenithal, do the same quality zenithal on every model. And then just don't push it as far in your painting process, and be all right with stopping before you do the OSL, before you do the weathering, before you do the final washes and stuff. Just do the base coats and the edge highlighting like we're doing here, and be like, yeah, that looks rad.
Yeah.
And then add details as you go. That way it can grow as you need it to, but it can also happen as quick as you need it to go play the tournament this weekend, or hang out with your friends, or whatever it is that you need to get accomplished. Sometimes it's just feel like you finished something, right? Sometimes it's just the ability to paint the rim black on the base.
Oh yeah,
and have a model that feels like, yeah, I'd put that on the table and nobody would yell at me. And I haven't finished the white on the missile, I haven't finished the white on the head, I haven't done any unit markings, but we'd be okay putting this down and putting a whole army of this quality down, and people would be like, that's great, and you could be like, thank you, it's not even done yet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but I'm off to a good start. And that always feels good, as opposed to doing the fast, sloppy route that says, hey, paint your army in 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, but
why but isn't that taking the joy out of it?
Yeah, but in the same 10 minutes, I could do a really good quality base coat and be happy with that, so that I could build off of it, as opposed to just slopping a bunch of paint around that looks good at 4 feet away. But when you get up to a discerning look, you're like, yeah.
I don't know if I'm into that.
Yeah, I got to reprime that to make it look good, so. Not saying that you can't paint fast. Some people paint a lot. Like Baby J paints amazingly fast.
But he ain't but when you look at his orc buildups, like that one orc he did in that one stream, it's not like speed paint job, right?
No, because he learned from Dallas and the studio at Privateer Press, where when you're painting models for a studio,
you gotta
for box art and for the game, it's got to get done.
He says
speed is what counts.
The best color is done.
Yeah. And so you're not trying to spend a year on it. You're looking for quality, but quantity at the same time. Yeah. So not every model can be, a perfect character model,
right,
with the best of everything going. It has to be done.
Frank Kendrolor says, just wanted to express my gratitude for the paint range. Pale yellow mixed with one-step medium over a bright warm gray. This is the perfect off-tone I was going for my Black Templar tabard. Nice.
Awesome.
Glad you're enjoying it. And Ogre says, hey, quick question. If I got a texture look after just airbrushing a coat, does it mean I was too far away from the model?
Could be, yeah. You could have your paint drying in midair and giving you that kind of dot texture. Is it like a bunch of speckling texture?
I think so. I think that's what you're meaning.
Yeah, if it's kind of speckled or spotty, then it typically means that you're too far away with the airbrush and the paint is starting to cure in midair, and by the time it hits, instead of spreading out like a liquid would, it stays exactly where every dot hits, and that gives it that bit of texture.
Mr. Blue says, can you recap how you did the highlighting? Was it a base color edge and grow the highlights out from there? Great question. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
So, how I did the highlighting, was it base color edge and grow highlights out from the edge? Yeah, if I'm understanding what you're saying, the answer is yes. We did the airbrush base coat was royal purple, that you can see the purple shadows still heavily on this one, and then pale yellow, and then over the top of that the blue black, and so all of the volumes were kind of baked on from that. So the base highlights were applied because it was all done in a zenithal manner with the airbrush, even the color base coat, because it was a filtered base coat, right? So that was there. So I already knew kind of paint by numbers where the highlights needed to go. Then I just paint all the edges that are inside those bright areas, some that go in the shadows as I taper them off down here and things like that to just pull details out. But I would do that, and I did that with basically with faded green, right? I did it yesterday with a mix of the pale yellow and the dark blue black one step, but it basically gives you faded green. If I were to pull the cup out of the mix, you can see the mix and the faded green. The mix is a little bluer than the faded green, but this is close enough that I can use faded green in place of it if I run out of my mixture and stuff. So I did faded green, which I call a mid-tone highlight. This is not the brightest color I will use, but it is a bright enough color to be a highlight for the rest of the colors on the model. So you do that. Then we're doing the bright ivory, right? And the bright ivory goes over that because together those give you a really nice blended edge.
Yeah.
That can make you have a lot more dynamic feel to it all. Why did you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so then you put the brighter edge inside the mid-tone line, and you get that kind of, I don't want to say sparkle, but you get the non-metallic feel to it without doing anything other than edge highlighting. So this gives you that kind of what I call Wish.com non-metallic by making sure your airbrush coats are well blended and give you a good move from dark to light, and then hitting it with that double edge highlight so that the edges can go into the darkness at the mid-tone and then pull up into the brightness in the high spots. And that, you can be done. Right? You don't have to do anything else. I mean, like when we're calling a model, well, we can't really call this guy finished. We still have to do the eyes and stuff. Well, that's all it is, for the armor. The sword and stuff, we do some blending to pull off some of the other things that we're doing. But, for the bulk of the model, right, even the blue-black, like the gunmetal blue-black, it's all done the exact same way, right? And that it really is a lot of the heavy lifting done by the edge highlight and just doing it two-tone, right, with two bright colors. And that gives all of that volume, brings all that volume. It also, when you're airbrushing, it pulls the airbrush work into focus because the airbrush looks out of focus. It's really fuzzy. And so when you have that fuzzy look to the model's blends, you can tell it's airbrushed just by putting an edge highlight over it. Pulls all of that back into focus and makes it look less like, oh, it's just an airbrush job. I mean, it is, but it makes it less so. Is Rattlecan muted on YouTube?
I don't know.
Why would you be muted, Rattlecan? Did you do something untoward?
I don't think so.
Were you mean? Did you use a word that is not allowed? We don't have those, but
you could try doing that, and then after the stream, Rattlecan, I'll double check on our end, but I don't think so.
I don't know why you would be. Unless it was somebody trying to time out somebody else and hit your name by accident.
I don't think so. So
Rattlecan's a nice guy.
Google blacklisted him, says Double T. Yeah, I'll check into it, Rattlecan.
I actually don't doubt that with Google's anomalous activities.
But if... Oh, interesting. I'll look into it, Rattlecan.
What did it say?
No, Rattlecan says, nope, I see them posted, but I look from another device. I did, yes. I did delete your thing by accident when I was trying to give you some hearts, so maybe it did on our end.
See, I told you.
No,
I told you. Chris did it.
That wouldn't do that, though.
Chris did it.
Because other people have done that where...
Chris deleted you.
Yeah, I'll double check for you, Rattlecan.
Chris did it.
It should just be easily...
Blame Chris. Hashtag blame Chris.
I like how Jason's keep going with this. I will fix it.
Hashtag blame Chris.
So
Chris did it.
I'll look into it. I don't think I see my messages go through Profit and Panda. No, yours go through. I'm seeing yours. Yeah, I'll look into it, Rattlecan.
Yeah, and if you ever feel like you've asked something and it hadn't been paid attention to, ask again.
Yeah.
Sometimes
definitely.
chat gets moving, or sometimes I get locked into an answer and we miss the follow-up. So just always feel free to ask again and make sure you tag us.
The Restream bot definitely hits both of those, Profit Panda. So Double T's asking, how do you clean a brush? Great question. And here is what you have for that. We have a great video by...
You knew it was coming. He's going to give you the video.
I am. That's a great segue. Here it is. Quiblammer. Schlanky. Floombow. There you go. How to Clean Your Brush by JUN using Goop 2.0. It's a great video, by the way. Check it out. Jason, how long are you going to keep going for? You want to keep going? You have paint? You have paint in your lungs?
In my lungs?
Yeah. Do you have paint in your lungs? Do you have paint in your heart or your cup?
I always have paint in my heart.
Yeah. Oh, you're still working. You're on the palette.
That's what I do. I'm out of paint on the palette, so. And I think that my paint literally on the palette lasted to do almost everything I needed it to do. If I can get this one little doot here, I think literally it did everything I needed it to do.
Can you tell me the deets around this model, Jason?
No.
The doots?
No.
I tried, chat.
What are you talking about?
I tried.
Tried what?
Chris was the flow. No. Goop is amazing stuff. Ogre, it's amazing. Boshak says, what do you think of a red filter / layer over this workup would look like? Ooh.
Over this?
It would probably be dope.
Red over this?
Probably be really cool, I would
have
imagine.
no idea. We would have to do it. The red and the green will give you a more brownish tone, even though the green is not very vibrant. So that's the only real saving grace there, is that because it is so desaturated, it may be that you would just get a deeper, like mahogany-ish kind of color, depend largely on the red. It definitely work.
Profit Panda says, so I met you at Adepticon 2 years ago, and you had mentioned something about working on a new paint formula for all the baseline, but since that, then I haven't heard anything on that. Any chance of some more enlightening?
Paint formula for the baseline?
Maybe he was referring to One Step.
Probably One Step that I was talking about.
I guarantee that's what it is.
Or maybe metallics. We're working on some new metallics. Have been for a while.
The paint needs to last
but
on
not
the
for the
palette
baseline.
for 6 hours, apparently.
There's no need to reformulate our baseline. We got it right the first time, unlike everybody else.
Scary Duck, I did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't say enough how good that paint scheme looks, especially how you are doing the bases.
Oh, it really, the base
ties
is
it all.
Key. Like the base does, again, the edge highlighting and the base color do all the heavy lifting. The base is just, some dry brush and really sloppy application of paint too. So I'm not having to try real hard on that. But it really puts the entire model as a composition. Super simple. I mean, this is as easy as I can make it for people to say hi. As a matter of fact, Baby J was here on Saturday. We were hobbying. He took a look at these, and he's now going to be doing his entire Imperial Guard army in a version of this that is going to use like Panzer Gray and the red bases, because showing what you can do with just a simple collaboration of color from the environment you place the model in and then monochromatic kind of simplistic tones here, you can use that leverage to say, rather than what other colors can I put on the model to make it interesting, what can you put on the model on the base to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, I want to see red eye lenses and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not really into that, but I'm doing red earth on the base, and that has the effect that you need, so that now this army is going to really pop, even though it is a fairly basic paint job, you know? This guy isn't there. But, you know, even the little guys, almost more so on the little guys, it works so well, especially with the ultramarine, like the violet colored toes that I'm doing my Tau in. Gives it a burst of color down around the red too, which is fun. So yeah, it just spruces up the army so that you can, again, do less work on the model itself and let the color and contrast at the base provides do a lot of the heavy lifting too. Again, this is just lazy man painting techniques. So if you're going to paint an army and you want to get it done, then you're really just talking about base coat, mid-tone, edge highlights, right? Whether brush or not, because all the gunmetal stuff is done just with a brush, and all the armor is done with the airbrush, but you can do it all either way. And then you get, you know, some contrast there. It's fairly monochromatic because the dark armor and then the dark gunmetal, it doesn't give us a ton of contrast on the model. Most of the contrast is done with the bright edge highlighting and that kind of non-metallic metal feel, although we haven't spent much time creating non-metallic metal. It's all literally just edge highlights. But that gives you good contrast on the model, but doesn't make it so disco ball that it's hard to look at. You can still see the model for what it is. If you're not careful and you go too bright and too dark, then you can make it too much of an eye screw kind of a thing. So you do need to watch that. But, you know, that's why we put the highlights on the armor to get it brighter up towards where the edge highlights come out of. And then you just get a really nice look. And I'm very happy with it. And all the models come together really easy. It starts, you know, where you can do squads and squads and squads with just the airbrush and get the rough stuff. They don't even look good. Yeah. When they're like this, they're really rough. The airbrushing is like, what's going on with this guy? And then it's literally just edge highlighting that pulls it all together.
Yeah. Should have a green eyes because everyone will envy your army, says the bud.
I was thinking blue. I was thinking ice blue, because the thing that we don't have is we kind of have this green that's in a weird neutral space for color, and then I have the poke of purple on him, and then I guess the blue toes on the foot troops that are, but that's why I did them more violet, because I like the way the purplish tones worked with this armor color. So I was thinking like an ice blue, like sky blue, transparent blue, really bright blue for all the electronic glow. I think that would look really good. So that's probably That's probably what I'm gonna do. Because we already have enough yellows, we already have enough reds. The yellow's in the reds and in the greens, but there's already enough yellow represented. There's already enough, obviously, green, and you know. So I think blue is the way to go.
Justin, no, not really, because everything Jason paints, he really likes. So we don't really give the models away because Jason likes them.
I mean, you know, there's always opportunities to do that, but yeah, we keep the models that I paint around, because most of the models that I paint for demo here on the stream to teach. And so we keep them so when people say, hey, you know, I'm interested in doing X, then I can grab a model that, you know, because we reference them a lot. Not everything, but we have a lot, you know, and there's really not models that I paint. There are a lot of models that I painted that weren't on stream that, you know, could go into that, but sometimes. I mean, in the past, we did a raffle giveaway a bunch of years ago for a full Dark Angels army that I did that was back from when I worked at GW, so that was kind of like a piece of history. And then we did a unit of Soul Drinkers that I did for White Dwarf that are actually published in White Dwarf. We gave those away.
Nice.
So, yeah, we've given away some really cool models, actually. I wish I didn't give those away now, because back in the day I was like, I'll never need these for anything, and now it would be cool to have them, but we know the guy that has them.
We do reference a lot of the models, though.
But yeah, it's just nice to be able to have all that on the shelf.
Scary Duck, I got word from my competition. I almost took third place, but the dice did not roll my way this time. That's okay.
Well, congrats.
That's awesome.
Congrats. Almost in contention is good.
Putting a model in. That Darth Vader was Jordan's model.
That was Jordan.
Yep, Jordan gave away his Darth Vader. He gives away models like they're candy. He'll reprime. He definitely has that. He'll give it away.
Good old reprime J.
Reprime J.
He doesn't care. All right, gang.
Reprime J.
Thank you so much for hanging out, watching more paint dry with us. Hopefully the Tau jokes aren't getting too old.
I don't think they're getting old enough.
And we'll probably, you know, we might go through and finish this Ghost Keel. Actually, we might go through and paint the Ethereal because he has a lot of skin.
Okay.
So we might paint the Ethereal because he has skin and cloth that I have to deal with. Oh, we dealt with a little bit of cloth on the regular guys. So we might do him because he's a little different, and then we'll probably take a break from Tau because I've shown you everything I can pretty much show you, in doing the few models that we've done so far. It's just repetition from here.
Thank you all.
But thank you so much for hanging out. We'll find some other stuff to start painting to keep it from getting too boring with Tau. Do you have a suggestion on how to make brown hair, not a character, but just 3 simple colors? Brown, like just standard brunette. Always works good to do something like you could do it something simple, like, the same way I do leather with dark umber, light umber, olive flesh for highlights, and then transparent brown washed over the top. That makes a really good, rich, kind of orangish brunette color. You could also start with like black brown and warm brown over the top of black brown, and then mix khaki into the warm brown for your highlights. Again, it depends on how bright and shiny you want it to be, but any of the browns as a trio work great. I tend to like a little bit of a yellowishness warmth to it. So warm brown and khaki mixed together make a really good highlight color for brunette hair. Is good. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Make sure to check out the links that Chris put up in chat there. If you're new around here, hit the follow or the sub button, depending on where you're watching. And remember, we do this Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time, here from Phoenix, Arizona, direct from Monument HQ. We would love to see you back. So if you enjoy what you're seeing here, just keep coming on back. We do this all the time. 10 years running.
That's right.
So we'd love to see you back. So have some fun, and make sure to join our Discord. Click on the link there. We've got over 7,000 amazing artists just like yourselves. Tons of inspiration, bad jokes, full-time discourse with other hobby nerds. Great place to make friends, hang out. We just put up the Gen Con 2026 channel last night so that you can plan to meet up with friends if you're going to Gen Con. So we have all sorts of neat community things like that, as well as our community challenge, where every month you get to do a test of skill in the painting world, and then we'll review them at the beginning of the following month. So we've got one of those running right now for painting up a vehicle, which is a lot of fun. So make sure to join us over there and stick around. We're going to raid somebody to keep your hobby going off into the evening on this lovely Tau's Day.
Tau's Day.
So show a lot of love in the chat we wind up in, and we will catch you back here tomorrow. Thanks, gang.